killed Catwoman? Who killed Catwoman? I said the sparrow was my bow and arrow. It was a boy, it was I. Who caused his blood? Who caused his blood?
Do you fear for your child?
Straight out of hell.
Do you fear for your child?
Straight out of hell.
Do you fear for your child? Do you fear for your
I'm a loser, I'm a poet. Yeah, I got some bad habits, and I think you should know it. I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model. I'm a drinker, I'm a smoker, I'm a loser, I'm a sinner. Yeah, I'm a walker, I'm a stalker, I'm a thief, I'm a liar. I'm a problem, I'm a preacher, I'm a pauper and a poet. Yeah, I got some bad habits, and I think you should know it. I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model. I'm a pervert and a peeping Tom. Through a hole I wash your mom. I like sex lines, porno shops, smoking weed and quitting jobs. Limousine, cigarette, fast cars and silicone lips. Save it for the VIP room, champagne and all that shit. Woo! I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model. I'm a drinker, I'm a smoker, I'm a loser, I'm a sinner. Yeah, I'm a walker, I'm a stalker, I'm a thief, I'm a liar. I'm a problem, I'm a preacher, I'm a pauper and a poet. Yeah, I got some bad habits, and I think you should know it. I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model.
I'm a tsunami, I'm a tidal wave, I destroy everything in my path, no one's safe. About to hit you like a hurricane, I'm about to blow up like a motherfucking hand grenade. Give you a taste fucking on my homie. Shape, shift shape, you will never know me. Always on top, right? Cowgirl only. It's the resurrection, Bambi unholy. Get on your knees and genuflect for me. It's a prophecy, my vision's unfolding. Die for devotion, sanctimony. I see what I want and I get it. Manifested from my head to a heaven. A kiss, kiss, bang, bang, even water heaven. It's the second coming, baby, it's 11, 11. I'm a tsunami, I'm a tidal wave. I destroy everything in my path, no one's safe. About to hit you like a hurricane. I'm about to blow up like a motherfucking hand grenade. Give you a taste, you want bitter like a lemonade. Causing damage, I'm a motherfucking renegade. All my stars align, retrograde. I'm a fucking savage, masturbating while I'm getting laid. So glitch, ain't no motherfucking time switch. I'm a caddy, I'm the motherfucking rhyme witch. Say it how it is, don't need to read between the lines. Which complicate your mind, don't even mind, I'll make you mind, bitch. I'll make you mine, bitch. Hell mine, I'll make you mine, bitch. I see what I want and I get it. Manifested from my head to a heaven. A kiss, kiss, bang, bang, even water heaven. It's the second coming, baby, it's 11, 11. Underrated till I strike like lightning. Really couldn't give a fuck about timing. Like a thunderbolts, you're screaming, it's frightening. I'm a tsunami, I'm a tidal wave. I destroy everything in my path, no one's safe. About to hit you like a hurricane. I'm about to blow up like a motherfucking hand grenade. Give you a taste, you want bitter like a lemonade. Causing damage, I'm a motherfucking renegade. All my stars align, retrograde. I'm a fucking savage, masturbating while I'm getting laid. I'm a tsunami, I'm a tidal wave. I destroy everything in my path, no one's safe. About to hit you like a hurricane. I'm about to blow up like a motherfucking hand grenade. Give you a taste, you want bitter like a lemonade. Causing damage, I'm a motherfucking renegade. All my stars align, retrograde. I'm a fucking savage, masturbating while I'm getting laid.
anything.
This is the dawn of lunacy, our legacy. This is the roots of vacancy and bigotry. Do anything. I can see everything. I can do anything. I can see everything. Give me the skin, give me the skin, give me the skin, give me the skin.
call on Andras, Grand Marquis of Hell, Provoker of Discord, and upon Broadway, Demon of Forbidden Knowledge, and upon Behemoth, Archdevil of the Black Delight. I call upon Asmodeus the Destroyer, and Astaroth, friend of all the great lords of Hades. I call upon the many names of Prince Satan, Beelzebub and Lucifer. I demand an audience with his satanic majesty,
This is the prime of punishment. This is the time of pestilence. This is the ink inside my head. The color of my crown from which I'm fed. There's something burning in my skull. There's something burning in my skin. There's something burning in my skull. There's something burning in my skin. There's something burning in my skull. There's something burning in my skin. There's something burning in my skull. There's something burning in my
Now you might pray to God, y'all, but I like Lucifer best of all. Sunday school is a place for fools. It's hot in hell, but the devil's school. Don't keep Satan waiting. Don't keep Satan waiting. So don't just sit there, join the club. Sell your soul to Beelzebub.
Hey, everybody, it is I, Count Jackula, your favorite satanic streamer, here once again for a satanic stream straight out of hell. Let the sin begin. Say it with me, everybody. Let the sin begin. Let the sin begin. Tonight is, I have longtime guest, Just John, friend. And
you can just go with John.
Let's go, John, and we're going to talk about one of the most satanic-y things ever. That is role-playing games. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. This will lean you towards the devil like nothing else, man. It'll teach you how to cast spells. It'll teach you how to summon demons in the game world with dice. So you know that's a bridge too far for the religious fanatics out there. And still
it teaches you how to be a magician in the real world with a magic cane.
Yes, absolutely. It's sinning time. So as you can see, I recently picked up the soft cover of the Pathfinder Core Player's Guide. The thing that's different about the Pathfinder Core from Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So there's Pathfinder 2nd Edition, this 2nd Edition Core. 2nd Edition Core removes all of the specific references to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
They makes it completely its own game.
Sorry. Yeah, they basically make it into a like the remastered, like basically makes it their own baby that they don't have to worry about like Wizards of the Coast doing a stupid, which boy, let me tell you, they keep doing the stupids,
Yeah,
right?
they do keep doing the stupids. Like, I can't believe it. I'm like in an era where role playing games have their social relevance again. They want to fuck around and find out. And I'm like, I don't think it's going to go the way it went last time, specifically because of Paizo being the publisher's Pathfinder.
Mhm.
We're going to see, I don't think we're going to see the dip that we saw when they did fourth edition in the marketplace. I don't think
Oh,
it's
I was
going to
about to say,
happen.
and D&D will experience it.
Oh yeah, D&D will
Uh,
experience a dip, but like I don't think it's going to filter into the majority of the industry.
no, because like the thing is like we live in it's a weird time. We live in a time where it's like it's what happened to D&D fifth edition. Like
Yeah.
D&D fifth edition, like D&D next was kind of dead in the water after fourth edition. Everyone fucking
Hmm.
like didn't trust D&D to make another fucking good edition. And then there's this little thing, you may have heard of it, called Critical Role, and they decided to switch their game from Pathfinder to D&D fifth edition, probably for financial reasons. Um, and then D&D fifth edition fucking skyrocketed, became the game that everyone fucking played. Um, but now I feel like we've reached a point like after that boom where like people that are in this hobby, and it's a lot more now, are more open to like trying new things. Like, you know, it like
Yeah, but they don't want to have to deal with some of the bric-a-brac of Dungeons and Dragons anymore because they've experienced the new systems. Like,
right.
and Pathfinder is a great game that fits that bill perfectly. You know,
Yeah.
if you really don't care about the D&D settings, which some people do, some people don't, but if you just want to do, this is your good basic like homebrew.
Yep.
This is your game for your homebrew setting. It comes with a setting if you want it. And that setting is pretty good, but I will say I don't like the setting manuals as
No.
much as I liked the D&D third setting manuals. The D&D third setting manuals I thought were really that was like the height of setting manuals.
And that's what Paizo made their bread and butter on for a while.
Yeah, because they were those were the guys. Even though those were the people who work at Paizo were the people making those books. They were the
Yeah.
ones writing them and laying them out and like doing all the work. So when they made their own company, I do still wish that the individual setting books had more individual setting game rules,
Yeah.
meaning like new classes, new races, new spells, new items, you know,
Well,
and they don't tend
but
to
see,
have that.
that's the thing. You're looking for D&D new things and not Pathfinder new things. Sure, Pathfinder was born out of 3.5. So what do you get in 3.5 when you go to a new setting?
Not
Setting specific feats.
Yeah, but actually most of the setting specific the most of the setting stuff that I've seen, the books, they don't they have a lot of information on the setting, but they don't give you specific stuff that you can belong to or have as being part of that setting.
Right.
You know, like I was a
Which
little disappointed in what was it, Tian John, which was essentially their Oriental Adventures
Mhm.
setting, which looked really cool, but there was only information on the cultures, and I was like, no, I want some monsters. I want some like player stuff. I like all this other stuff, but I want some player stuff. I want there to be like a specific monk temple that you can belong to, you know, stuff like
I
that, as opposed to implying that you can do that.
yeah, I think that they Paizo said that they were going back to Zunshin because like I don't think they've went back like officially yet. Like they haven't
Well,
released a
the
setting.
new source book came out recently,
Right.
you know.
Oh, is that the one that okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't own it, but I looked at it because I was thinking of buying it, but then kind of did the like, nah, this isn't going to scratch that itch. It's got all the cultural information that I could want, but it doesn't have any of the game information that I want. And I don't need much. Like a good 12 pages out of like 200 is enough,
Yeah.
you know. But like they didn't
It's
have that. It was like, well, here's how you can kind of do this. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I don't want to kind of do that. I want you to say, okay, if you're a monkey person, bam, here it is.
but like you said, Pathfinder is a great game if you love homebrewing.
Yes.
So like if you like if you wanted to make something like that, they have guidelines and shit like that in order to create your own classes or subclasses and stuff like that. And like really like Pathfinder is fucking lousy with fucking class options and like subclass options. Like it is lousy. Like if you
Oh,
get
yeah.
like
It has tons of them. It has tons of them.
yeah,
I'm not saying that it doesn't. It's just that when I look at a setting book, I want to see the ones that are specific to that,
yeah.
because it was one of the things, particularly when you're dealing with an Oriental Adventure setting, right?
Mhm.
What are the things that I really loved in the first edition Oriental Adventures was the concept of the specific character classes being there, like the samurai,
Yeah.
um, or the ninja, even though I think ninjas are overplayed at this point. At the time, it was brand new.
It,
The
the dumb
Shugenja.
shit that
Yeah.
ninjas do. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. Like, like the Shinto priest and things like that. Because
yeah.
even though we're like, one of the things, like, you could say that, well, maybe they were worried about cultural appropriation. And I'm like, no, no, no. Here's a great thing about the Shinto priest. And in fact, most of the Asian mystic ideas, they have been mythologized so just as much, if not more, than the Western
Mhm.
ideas of like the sorcerer, the witch, the wizard. So it actually is open up to a huge amount of interpretation without insulting anybody, because as long as you
Right.
get the basics right, nobody cares about the other shit. Not
It's
even the people that live in those cultures. Why? Well, uh, a wizard cast spells, right? Like a Shinto priest, like, brings out a weird thing and like exorcises demons, and like, as long as you've got that, it works.
yeah.
Like they've
It's
they've
like
it's
oh
so mythologized, you can boil it down to some key elements, and the
yeah.
more you
It's
get
like
right, the more everyone is happy. But the ones that as long as you don't get them completely wrong,
right.
everything's fine. Like a wizard learns from books. If a
Right.
wizard learns from, like, say, spirits, you're like, wasn't that a shaman? But I guess maybe that's just how wizards work here. It's like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
But when you
And
get
it's
into, like, say, Native American stuff, or voodoo, then it gets more specific, and you got to be a lot more careful. You
right.
know.
Well, and also like I say this. So the reason why it's difficult for like to do like voodoo and First Nation like spiritual stuff is because like those people were subjugated.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Those are
Shinto
those are
stuff like
cultures that, yeah, Shinto was, yeah, the Japanese, the closest they got to subjugation was the Chinese.
Mhm.
Who did subjugate them for a very long time, but we're talking that ended so long ago that, like, most people don't even remember it. Like, the thing that exists in memory is when Japan attempted to subjugate China in World
Right.
War II. And that didn't last long. That didn't even last a generation. And China did ultimately win that conflict. They ultimately won
It's
that conflict.
yeah, because like it's hard to fucking invade China.
It's extreme. It's hard. It's not
It's
hard.
hard to occupy.
It's hard to
China.
occupy it.
Yeah.
It's really hard to occupy. It's easy to have an insertion, but it's really hard to have an occupying force, because the terrain, that's your biggest thing. China's huge.
Mhm. And mountainous.
Mountainous.
Mhm.
It doesn't have a lot of, like, what America has. America has a lot of, like, pretty cool, neutral fields. You know, the ground doesn't get too wet, it doesn't get too hard. You know, the weather's pretty clement during the, the spring and the summer. It might get it might get really hot,
Right.
but you can move an army around pretty easily. It's an advantage that could be taking. You could take advantage of that if you were able to invade, but the sheer size of the United States makes that an impracticality. But if the
Yeah.
United States was to balkanize and go to war with its former factions, like, you could bet there would be a lot of ground wars. There'd be a lot of ground wars, and they would go back and forth pretty quickly.
I would say whichever state gets the American army, like the federal army, is probably going to be the one that like ends that shit real quick.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because the U.S. military is, not to harp on it too long, but because I mentioned this before, the U.S. military is designed specifically ever since after World War One, has been designed specifically so that whoever takes control of the whoever takes control of the military has the bulk of it, but not all of it.
Yeah.
So there will be a clear advantage, but the military itself cannot take advantage of that.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's really interesting how the American military is set up. Almost no one else does it like we do.
Well,
and it's designed to prevent another civil war, because but it wasn't until like after World War One that like most of the implementation really got put in, because World War One introduced way different branches of warfare. They had come to maturity, and it introduced an air force.
Well, and machine guns.
Machine guns, but everyone took advantage of machine guns. Every branch took advantage of machine
guns. That's what I'm saying. Like World War One is like it's my Roman Empire, because it's like, this is a war that was spawned because a bunch of old fuddy-duddy royals got together and decided, well, it's been a while, isn't it, chaps? And decided all to go to war over like multiple fucking like multiple treaties and like agreements, diplomatic, like it. World War One happened because a bunch of old nobles decided, fuck it, a bunch of young guys have to die. And after that war, we went from like cavalry charges to tank brigades.
Yeah. It was the war that birthed the modern military.
Yeah. And like,
and in World War II, that came to maturation.
Yeah, but like also World War One birthed like socialism, communism.
It did.
And fascism. Both. Like that, basically the people that fought that war came out of it going like, we're never having kings again.
Yeah. Well, that was the conflict where communism and socialism hit the international stage on a military level.
Yeah.
Where it started to affect nations as a whole, as opposed to being sex within nations.
Yeah.
As it had been before, in my opinion, the first war, the war that first introduced communism and socialism to America, really honestly, was the American Civil War.
Kind of.
Yeah. Well, no,
I'm specifically talking about like Lenin's like Russian communism.
Oh, Russian communism, definitely. But the first conflict that actually had that in it was the American Civil War, because the abolitionists were all big fans of Karl Marx. And in fact, Karl Marx was a big fan of the American abolitionists.
Yeah, he was a big fan of Abraham Lincoln. Whether Abraham Lincoln liked him is debatable, but like
I think he agreed with him more than not.
Yeah. It's not like whether or not they agreed. It's about whether or not like Karl Marx was like a fucking obsessive fan to Abraham Lincoln because he sent him letter
Oh
after
yeah,
letter
yeah,
after
yeah.
letter.
No, it
And
is clear. Like Abraham Lincoln was the type of leader that Karl Marx thought would never happen in his lifetime.
yeah,
Like that was absolutely fucking. That is absolutely fucking clear. Like Marx loved Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, for political reasons, did not write him back as many times as he was written, but it is known that Abraham Lincoln read all of Marx's letters to him.
yeah.
And probably also, and most definitely had read Das Kapital.
I mean, probably he's a college educated man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. He had almost definitely read it.
yeah,
But it didn't become like a force decided through through nation states and military effort until World War One. That's when that started.
yeah.
Before it was like it was a force like kind of one step behind motivating things.
It was treated as if it was an economic theory.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like an economic and social theory. Now, for lack of a better way of putting it, it was a political theory, and
Mhm.
that is something a little bit different. Because
Yeah.
when you get into politics, now you're dealing with maps and
Yep.
what the little lines on the map mean. Like that's an important distinction.
Like every dumbass squiggle you've ever seen on any map has been probably decades of men, most likely, arguing in a fucking forum about where the squiggle goes.
Yeah,
I'm
almost.
not bullshitting you. If Jack can back me up on this, it's the truth.
Oh yeah, no. There is. Let me put it this way. I make the argument that there is art. That all art, whether or not all art is political, is kind of missing the forest for the trees. All maps are political. Period.
Yes.
Period. There is nothing unpolitical about a map. Maps are the essence of politics because it is the territory that everyone agrees on, more or less. And the disagreements are where the conflicts happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all maps are political.
War is just
Period. It
war
tells
is
you
just
what fucking mayor controls what area, what
yeah.
what district a representative represents. All of it.
But like don't get it twisted. War is just politics.
It's
War,
negotiation by other means.
yeah, it's negotiation by other fucking means. War has always been a political tool.
Yeah, it is really it's not about who achieves victory. It is about who surrenders.
Yes.
Like that's the thing about warfare that a lot of people don't realize. It's like you don't win, the other side acquiesces.
Yeah. And especially in modern war. Like I saw someone say something about like don't forget the nukes. Yeah, the funny thing about nukes are it's kind of a weird like weird agreement between nation states where it's just like, look, we have them. The first person to use them gets fucked up.
Well, it's weird because nukes did not affect warfare as much as they affected diplomacy.
Oh, 100%. Like, it's like nukes became a diplomatic tool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Nuclear arms made diplomacy way a bigger decider in policy than military might. That was a huge shift. And notice we haven't had like a global conflict since. That is the testament to what happens when diplomacy is your major decider on these things, because military conflicts do still happen. I mean, obviously the Ukraine, Palestine,
yes.
all those things, but the decisions don't get made that way. They get made through diplomacy, because if Ukraine knows all it has to do is not surrender,
They're
because
fucking
and diplomacy
invading
will
Russia
do
now.
everything else. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're reinvading they're invading the land that
Which,
Russia
like,
took over and keeping going.
good.
Very good. Very good, because the thing, well, how to put it, man, I'm pissed that none of the major news outlets actually talk about this. Actually talk about what's going
Well,
on in Ukraine.
everyone's talking about what's going on in Palestine, justifiably so.
Oh, justifiably. But
Yeah.
like it's one of those like, no, you don't. There's some extremely, let me put it this way. Diplomatically, Palestine's a bit more important at the moment. In
Yes.
terms of military strategy and history, that's happening. The big changes are happening in the Ukraine conflict.
Yeah. Uh, like,
Like if you were in like a military school, you would be studying it right now.
it's so okay. All right. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Ukraine is basically attacking with a skeleton force and they're invading and holding territory. Like they're not just doing what America did in fucking Operation Iraqi Freedom, where they go and fuck a place up and then leave it and then everyone just kind of goes back. They're like holding territory. And Russia, who was supposed to be one of the big three, seems to be incapable of fucking preventing this from happening. And like it's not like Ukraine's using the West best fucking technology. Like they don't have an open checkbook with Raytheon and Lockheed Martin.
No,
they're buying
no.
they're buying their fucking like army surplus shit.
Yeah, yeah, they're buying our old crap,
Yeah.
that we've got
And
in storage.
and it's weird. It's like
But here's the advantage. And this is why the Boeing thing is so important. Because when we talk about US military hardware, up to a specific point, the motherfucker always worked.
yeah.
The motherfucker worked until it broke. That you do not understand what a big fucking deal that is.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do, but like most people do not understand how big a fucking deal it is that when you pull up G12, it destroys everything but the fillings in the teeth. At least the first time you use it. That's
cool.
a big deal.
Cool. Let's see what H12 does.
Mm-hmm.
No, and not to get we're in politics. Fuck it. Not to no, fuck it. I'll just
We're gonna
say
want
it.
to circle back around to role playing games, but like,
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We're taking the scenic route. Yeah. So for those of you who are like who think are having difficulty picking a candidate, if you want to know a reason why Boeing and so many other wonderful corporations are kind of not producing good shit and it's constantly breaking, it's because 8 years ago we as a country elected a toddler, and that toddler killed damn near every bit of regulation law that we had, and now we are suffering the consequences.
yeah, they got rid of the regulations on the one industry that it is absolutely critical that you have standards that the government imposes, and that is military hardware.
Yeah.
Defense contractor hardware. The government has to have final say over that because it's for national defense or hell or national offense. You still want that shit to work every time.
Well, even just like commercial planes. Like,
yeah.
You don't want Boeing to make the decision of, well, we can cut a few corners here in order to save some money. Because like that's how people die. And I'm not talking about like military people. I'm talking about civilians.
Yeah, it's like they want to go back on the one good thing that their man McNamara did. Which was the government has to be in charge of quality standards for things that involve the military and public usage.
Mm-hmm.
Which, somebody has to, and the only one that is in a good position to do that is government.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a private institution do that because there's no profit in it because we're a capitalist country. So it has to be someone else. You can't have a profit motive. You have to have an effectiveness motive.
Yep.
And for the
I,
longest time, the American government more or less pretty much did when it came to that shit. Sure,
and
corruption happened. Things skated by. Things went wrong. But it
but not for
was
long.
unusual.
Yeah.
It could be big, but it was unusual. If it becomes normal, we become the Russian military. Because that's what happened to them.
Looking at you, Iran-Contra. Man, it's like every time we elect one of these ideologue Republicans, shit gets really fucked up for a long time. Anyways,
Oh, wait, what's someone mentioned Iran-Contra?
no, I was saying I was like Iran-Contra as like another example of that, where basically the US was selling weapons to people
Yeah,
that
the
had
executive
kidnapped.
branch was illegally selling weapons to other nations. Yeah.
Happened. Not this is a conspiracy theory. This isn't some shit
Yeah.
you have to look up
Yeah,
on
it's
like
a historical conspiracy that actually happened. And we
yeah.
know it actually happened because we have all. Look, in order to believe that Iran Contra didn't happen, you have to not have looked up anything about it.
Yeah.
You have to only
And
know it as a buzzword, because the minute you start researching it, you're like, oh shit, no, they had the Reagan administration dead to fucking rights on this.
yep.
The only question was whether or not to prosecute. Guilt was assured. And then, while they were trying to figure out whether or not they were going to do that, here comes Ollie North, and he takes the blame for everything. So now it wasn't the executive branch giving a command to do something. Now it was one bad actor. But, like, let's be honest, all the evidence points to that's horseshit.
And Nixon didn't help or want to plan Watergate. Jack, I don't know if you knew that. It was G. Gordon Liddy and like the other fucking guy. They were individual actors. They had nothing to do with Richard M. Nixon.
Let me put it this way.
Oh wait.
We know, like, there is no doubt in my mind, for example, that the political parties that the political parties spy on each other.
Of course.
But when you get caught stealing information from a private fucking entity, which the Democratic Party and the Republican Party technically are, not what, the political parties themselves, not the people who are members of them, not like the president.
Yeah.
But the organization itself is a private entity, like all political parties are in America, and you're not allowed to steal shit from you're not allowed to steal shit from a private entity. Period. Like, that's a crime.
That's called corporate espionage.
Yeah, it's called corporate espionage. Like, so if you get caught doing that, guess what? You should probably go down. You should probably see some jail time. Hell, I think everyone would have been happy with a token amount of jail time. And
oh no, we can't have that. Gerald Ford said it's time for the nation to fucking heal and pardon Nixon.
I wish Gerald Ford had realized what a mistake that was, like, the minute he became president.
Neoliberal, like liberal bullshit, always just like that's the part that drives me fucking
to me,
crazy.
I'm like, I have a weird
we get
military
so
mindset
close
when it comes to this stuff, because I'm like, no, the minute you pardon somebody like that, you have changed the rules of engagement, and that is really risky.
Yeah, because like we get we get so close, like the Democrats get so close to like doing, just fucking just nailing someone's ass to the fucking wall, and then like they feel guilty about it, and I just want to like fucking scream sometimes.
Well,
like
here's the problem. By the time
it's because
people
they
got
get
wise,
Yeah.
what was going on, they already had enough power to just bully their way through. So for
Yeah.
decades, that's just what they did. They just bullied their way through. And there had always been like mansions.
Yeah.
There have always been Joe Mansions who were part of the Democratic Party to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Just to fuck it up. And we're seeing a lot less of that these days. And I think that's why Harris, to be totally honest, I think that's why Harris, not that Harris hasn't done some shit I don't like. She's done tons of things I don't like. But as far as, I can't believe I'm saying this, but as far as following the rules, impeccable. Impeccable. I disagree with some of the rules that she's followed heavily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as far as upholding them, I can't fault her at all. I haven't found a damn thing.
She's a little like, I don't know why the Democrats are still holding on to this like fucking border wall shit, but I guess it plays well for like the southern border.
Oh man, I'm so disassociated from that argument.
Because you live there, because you're like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I live in California, and even if I was in like border towns, like the only problem I have with border towns is that we treat them like crap.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want a stronger border along the southern coast? Put money in the border towns. Increase the economic. They'll just bring people over. No. It will attract people, but it also gives that area an incentive to be bought into America.
Even if it does bring people over, okay.
So what? Yeah, what? It doesn't bother. That doesn't bother me at all.
They're stealing jobs. No, they're being given jobs for lesser pay than what you're getting because you killed all the unions. So why are you blaming the guy?
The Bracero program was racist as fuck, but was way less racist than what we're doing now.
Really? But why are you mad at the illegal immigrant? Which you shouldn't be. No. When you should be mad at the fucking CEO who fucking killed your job. Like
the CEOs are easy. You don't have your job, not the guy who took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're assuming those people are scabs. They're not scabs. They fired you to hire them at a cheaper rate. That's scab from the fucking top down. Plus, they're poor. It's not about greed. These people are poor.
Yeah. Also,
I say if you want to defend the border, the government will raise wages for immigrant labor. They'll say, no, you have to. No, you have to. And then things begin to improve. Oh, but they'll just take money back home. No. Some of them will. But then they'll
even if they
stay.
do, yeah.
And if they stay in an area, where are they going to spend the fucking money?
There
and idiots.
Yeah, and there's actually been studies about the income that and the taxes that illegal immigrants pay. And let me tell you, a lot more than what fucking Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, or any other of those fucking
the guys where most of that money should be coming from. Doesn't even fucking combined. Like scratch the surface. Yeah, combined is nothing compared to what migrant labor brings in.
Yeah.
Just on a cash level.
So yeah, it's so fucking stupid. Like it's but of course I guess it appeals to some fucking demographics. That's the reason why they're gung-ho about it. Because like it's just like,
well, they just don't want to have to be nice to migrants.
That's what it is. Like that's and then it's a shame that like the Democrats also play that fucking game. But like you said, I feel like it's like one specific part of the fucking party that just won't go away.
Yes. Also, I am of the opinion that when you're dealing with policy, you must stay on a policy level. You know,
Right.
say, oh, but you fired all these immigrant workers. What do you say to that? I'll say this, because I could not trust them anymore. I treated them like I would have treated a worker in the United States. If I could not trust that they were going to do the work or that they were working for a rival, I'm going to let them go. They can go work for that rival. I'm fine with that. But if you're going to be in my roof doing my shit, you're going to be following my rules. But I'm not going to say that you're not allowed to fucking come in and follow anybody's rules and get paid. That's fascism.
Yeah.
That's slave labor. And we don't do that here.
And I'm in the same fucking boat. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'll
I
take
have
like
a similar thing about homelessness. Do I want homeless people shitting in my fucking driveway, which happens?
yeah,
No.
because I mean you live in San Francisco.
I live in San Francisco. Yeah, it happens. Do I want that to happen? No. Oh, so why are you against hostile architecture and police patrols? I was like, because that doesn't make me safer and it doesn't solve the problem.
It just pushes them in a different location.
If we're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
If we're lucky, it does that. So it does nothing to alleviate the situation. You know what does alleviate the situation? Public bathrooms.
Homes.
Homes. Public bathrooms. Places to take a shit, a place to cook your food, a place to do your laundry, 4 walls and a door with a lock and a ceiling. Place to stay reasonably dry or warm or dry or warm.
Right.
Easy.
I had a
easy, and we could get that for pennies on the dollar compared to what we're spending it on now, just to be assholes.
Yeah, like being kinder is cheaper.
It's way cheaper.
That's the part that like pisses like. See, that's the shit that made me stop being libertarian. Is I basically had a moment where I was just like why are we so opposed to good things happening with our tax dollars but not opposed to like
awful
billionaires
shit?
Yeah, like why is that the thing that we're mad about? Like, sorry about that. Like why are we mad about like homeless programs and like school lunch programs, but we're not mad about like the fact that like I pay more taxes a year than like Warren Buffett does. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. We should be worried. We should be wanting to care about our citizens, both legal and illegal, because there is no illegal human.
Yeah. Hey, man, wasn't it Jesus who said that you do which to the least of my brothers is what you do unto me? Something like that. I seem to remember that happening in like, what was it, Matthew? Book of Matthew, Book of Mark?
Yeah, it was in one of those. I think it's in the Beatitudes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. There's
also, you know what message that sends? They get it. Yeah. Because everyone should get it. That means a citizen definitely gets it.
Hebrews 13:2. Be sure to welcome strangers into your home. By doing this, some people have welcomed angels as guests without even knowing it.
Yeah.
It's in your manual. Read your fucking manual. And then tell me
what happens if you let a demon in? Well, then you stop being polite.
There are no demons. They're just other angels.
True. True. But say an
Lucifer's not a demon. Lucifer fell from heaven.
Well, let's put it this way. Say you get a motherfucker in your house, then just stop being polite and do something about it.
Yeah.
You know, will people take advantage of that? Fucking sure they will. But you'll help a lot more people than you will be fucking taking advantage of. As
Yeah, 'cause,
long
like,
as here's the other thing, because there is another part to this. There's another part to this, and it doesn't get enough attention, period. Like this isn't just a Christian problem.
right, it's not. No, like,
Boundaries.
yeah.
Setting boundaries. Like that is something that a religious that is something that religion is kind of should be used for, not in
Mhm.
terms of politics, but in terms of your personal boundaries. You know, the place where you are sacred. You know,
Yeah.
and we don't talk about that. Why? Well, because they want to take advantage of you, so they can't have you doing that shit to them.
Yeah, the Bible isn't a the Bible's not a hand guide for the Bible's not a handbook for how society should be built and run. The Bible, in essence, or at least like specifically the New Testament, is an instruction on how to be a better person yourself, how to be the Christ in someone else's life.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They never fucking get it. And it drives, because I'm just like I'll do that shit to them, and they'll just like, well, that's not what that means, or they'll just be like, well, I don't see, I'm not okay with that, and I'm just like, well, you're going against your own fucking book, so like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, what do you want to like? Stop telling me that I need to go to church when you not you specifically, but when you are not like living, you're not living up to your own fucking standards, or at least the standards that your book tells you to do.
Yeah.
Like, I hate conservatism. It's of the
it's
devil.
oh yeah. Well, it's so well that's what makes it so like frustrating to deal with is that shit. You
Yeah,
know, because you're like, oh come on, man, could
but
we
like,
just
but that's the thing, right? Like, like now we've gotten to a point where like either you're like 100% behind that shit, or you are actively trying to kill it. And it's finally became time for the Democrats to just kind of go like, no, we need to be on the offensive. We need to hit them where it hurts.
yeah.
And and boy, howdy, has it worked? Because holy shit, Trump did a full like fascist speech over on the Truth Socials, freaking out about Harris.
I know, right? Which was here's the thing. I can't say that I was surprised,
Of course not.
but I was like I
I
I don't think I've ever seen dude this unhinged.
Okay, I'm gonna have a wild conspiracy theory, and I am going to preface this with, I don't think this is true. I don't think this has any possibility of being true or being the complete truth. But I do think the fact that Russia is getting its ass kicked in its own homeland is definitely fucking with the all-mind rights response to this shit, and they have not.
Oh, how is that a conspiracy theory? How is that a conspiracy theory? It may be an unproved opinion, but that is very, very, very reasonable.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like it's like they're like Harrison Walds have like they've shot fucking they've shot shit at him, but nothing has stuck like Weird has. It's beautiful. I love it. Like this feels better than 2008 Democrats. You know what I mean? You
I
know
know
what I
what you mean.
mean?
I know exactly what
Yeah.
you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Because it's like when your fucking sports team is like making all the right decisions in the offseason, you're like, shit, like I can't complain because you're doing exactly what I think you should have been doing from the beginning. And it's working, surprisingly.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like, oh, it turns out going pretty
Being
well.
the kind, yeah, you can embrace being cringy, but you cannot embrace being like they are sending people to look at kids. They want people to look at kids' genitals before they play a sport. Weird shit. The Democrats should have been hammering this shit for years, but respectability politics, going high when they go low, bullshit prevented them.
Yeah.
Now it feels like for once
Yeah, it's like
we're
no,
not on the defensive.
let them have it.
Yeah, like we're
Let
not
'em
on the
have it. We're
defensive
done.
anymore.
Stakes are too high. Let them have it.
Yeah,
We'll worry about our own corruption, whether we're being too violent. When we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. You
right.
know?
You know, and like the Palestine thing, like I think the current Democratic idea sucks. They should have had someone from the uncommitted movement speak at the DNC about Palestine. I feel like even if nothing happened from it, at least you looked better than keeping them off the stage for fucking Bill Clinton. Did you watch that fucking speech?
I did not, because I'm like, there is nothing Bill Clinton can say to me right now that I'm gonna want to hear.
Well, folks, I just say it. I'm like, hey, you hung out with fucking Trump and Epstein. I need you to get off the fucking stage, bro. You and your fucking bitch.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. You know. Oh, what?
Your shit hasn't been.
Hillary Clinton a bitch? Yes, I am.
Your shit hasn't been relevant in over like 2 decades.
Let me put it this way. I know that you crawled so that other Democrats could run. I understand that. But now it is time to let them run. Okay?
Oh, but see, that's the thing, ain't it? Can't let the youth do shit. They might fuck it up.
Of course they might fuck it up. They're just as likely to fuck it up as the old people in any given situation. So it is their right to make their own fuck ups. It is their right. And to be honest, I feel like 2016 kind of already was that moment politically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was the moment politically where it was like, ooh, the youth fucked up bad. But let him clean it up. Let him clean it up. You know, why not? That sounds like a good idea. That's all I really want. I want that bullshit to end.
One party will objectively make shit worse.
Yes.
Like not even just like kind of worse or like a tolerable amount of bad. No, we're talking about like they literally said like if you vote this election, you never have to vote again. Like
yeah, that's like one of those. Excuse me.
You know, we have too many protections for the First Amendment. I feel like we have too many. The fact that like conservatives just haven't woken up to this proves to me beyond a shadow of a fucking doubt now that like if you're still conservative, if you're still a Trump fan, you're just kind of okay with fascism.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like I don't understand it unless you're like the ruling class, which like most Trump fans are. I don't understand it. But I'm giving up on trying to fucking understand it.
And if you are part of the ruling class, fuck you.
Yeah, well,
fuck you.
Capitalists will always side with fascists, Jack. That's just the natural order of things.
Whoever. Yes. Yes.
It's just the way it is.
Well, it's because like when you're a communist nation, the last thing you want to do is fuck yourself over deliberately and with foreknowledge. You have to become much more corrupted in order to make that fucking mistake. You know, not that they wouldn't. It's just super unlikely that they would make that mistake, particularly early on.
The pick of JD Vance was man, like I remember when it happened, and I just went, "Oh fuck, Trump really is cognitively declined, or he just there is nobody else that wants to run with him." Like, I
Yeah.
think Perry is saying, I think it's a little weird that he doesn't know how to respond to weird. Like every second grader has figured one out, because because
They've
these
never
little
had to face it before. They've
yeah,
never had to face society looking at them and saying, well, you don't fit in.
yeah, no, it's the fact that like it's
That's
the
what it
fact that
means
like
to have ruling class privileges. That never happens.
yeah, trust me, I'm fucking sitting here looking at this shit like, oh, this feels like a tone, like a complete tonal shift. Like they don't like because think about it. Whenever like conservatives talk about shit, they're the normal ones.
Yep.
They're the normal ones. They're the ones that think like, oh yeah, don't let fucking. We have to have people inspecting kids' genitalia. There might be a trans kid that plays football, or they're like, well, if people can just decide what gender they are, then what's that got to? Oh, it'll just upset the rule of balance. Like it's weird shit to be obsessed over, yet they are.
Yeah.
I'm queer and I don't think about this shit as often as they do.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Like, why?
Yeah,
Why would I?
and
You
that's the
know,
thing.
why would we?
Fascists can't deal with mockery because that's the one thing that they aren't prepared to fight.
Hey,
I mean,
remember what fucking hey, remember what fucking Disco Elysium said about fascism as an alignment.
mhm.
All the other alignments are perfectly good at explaining politics and economics, but it will never answer the question as to why that pretty girl at the bar fucking thinks you're a creep. However, for those that need that, there is fascism.
Yes, yes.
Why do you think like the incels are so fashy? Because all they want to do is punish them. All they want to do is punish the hot chick and feel righteous about it. They
It's.
want to
I think I
punish
said,
all of society and feel righteous about it. They are the true nihilists.
yeah. Conservatives now, the current right leaning political stone salesman
Mm-hmm.
at a stoning.
Yep.
Like they're not there to fucking sell you on policy. They're there to sell you a fucking stone so you can throw it at somebody.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Like if people can decide what gender they are, women might decide that sexism is stupid. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah, sexism is stupid
why do you think they're obsessed with the fertility rates?
because they want that for themselves.
Because they don't want women to start thinking that they can make decisions over whether or not they give birth to a child.
Oh, right. Because that might mean that their genetic material is inferior
Got to
or
keep
has
them
something
pregnant.
wrong with it.
Got to keep them pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen, and they might
Yeah.
start thinking
And
about
then you
molestation.
might and that's why you have to also like go after the quote unquote handicapped
Mhm.
because that you have to use that in order to prove your thing, and you get mad and even madder at the handicap when it turns out that certain handicaps have nothing to do with the ability to get laid.
Yeah, no. Uh,
So
there
you have
there
to
are
punish
people.
them too.
I'm not saying this in any way, but there are people who have Down syndrome that get fucked more often
Oh,
than you do.
of course.
There are people with like Tourette's, severe severe learning disabilities. There are people that are missing limbs. There are people that have no limbs. There are people that are paralyzed that are getting more ass than you.
Yeah, because there is I'll put it this way, because the normal of having those conditions has nothing to do with whether or not you get laid.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It has nothing to do with that. It at all. Incel and fascism does. It does. It does. It uses that and it takes that. But when you do that, that means you're also bound by its rules.
Mm-hmm.
You're bound by its rules. It's one of the things. It's one of the first rules of chaos magic. Be careful what you believe is true, because in this world, if you believe it's true for you, it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Incels, no, you're unfuckable. And the reason why you're unfuckable is because you have something that's going on that is convincing people not to want to let you.
Yeah, because the real incels, it's always a problem of personality.
Yep.
It's not having a micro penis. It's not, funny enough, it's not having a micro penis. It's not having working legs. It's not being born without a neck or any of that stuff.
It's not even like you being a virgin, like
No.
into your 30s.
No. However, that's a symptom, but not all people have the symptom, have the same, or suffering from the same malady.
Right.
Some
people just ain't had the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but like, what are the real incels? The real incels are the motherfuckers who are the assholes that get into relationships, are abusers, but they're so bad at the social game, they can't get to that point.
Yeah.
And so only the red flags show up because they cannot cover them up.
Because they only have red flags.
Yeah, they only have red flags. It's like, what's an incel who has social skills? An abusive an abusive partner.
Yeah, I didn't be called out like that. No, but here's the thing, right? Like, just because just because you haven't had sex doesn't mean that you're unfuckable. You become unfuckable when you do shit like, I don't know, complain about everything that's ever had a woman in it ever. Or
yeah, spooky artist is like, I'm an awkward guy with OCD and I was still able to go on a date with a girl. Yeah, exactly. Was it a little harder? Yeah, sure, but it was far from impossible.
You just gotta you gotta learn how to how to match personalities, and you gotta learn how to this one's the big one that they can't do, which is you have to learn when you're just wrong about shit. You need to shut the fuck up.
You have to learn how to change because of another person, and not see that as, don't try to change me, baby, because I'm going to be honest, that does exist. But it's about crossing a boundary. Like, right. For example, I knew a guy, his girl hated the fact that he was a gamer. And I'm like, yeah, you're not going to change that. That's be a thing. Not for two reasons. One, that's a core personality trait that he has. That is beyond, that's not a nuance.
Right.
That is not a nuance. It's you're saying he can't have that at all. Not, I need the guy to pay a specific amount of attention to me, and I've noticed gamers don't do that for me. That's different, because that's you taking responsibility for it. You're saying he needs to change just because of your whims. That's crossing a boundary. Yeah. Second of all, I don't know if you've noticed, dude, but there are plenty of girls who will not put that kind of restriction on you. They will not even try, because why?
There are some.
Why would they?
Yeah, there are some people that are also gamers, and they also like to fuck other people.
Yeah, it's not like you're an alcoholic.
Yeah,
it's not like alcoholism, which is why I get really fucking particular when people start talking about oh, he has a gaming addiction. I was like, does he, or is this a symptom of something else that you just don't like? Because if this is crossing a line for you, the place you need to start is yourself.
Yeah.
And admitting that that's what it is. Like, this doesn't work for you. Now you take responsibility for that. If you've decided, maybe I can make this work, well, then it behooves you to give them that opportunity, but you're not under obligation to do so.
Right.
You know, I there are so many things. I just watched a movie
Oh,
that kind of gets into some of this, in a very fucked up way. It's called
Right.
Strange Darling.
Seen that like pop up on my Amazon feed, but I haven't like given it. Okay, all right.
Really
down.
good. It's really good. And I don't want to say too much, but sometimes people have nothing but red flags.
Right. I mean,
That's all I can say
all
about the
watched-
movie without giving it away. It's best you go in as blind as possible.
We've all watched that movie where it's like, I don't know at any point where I would be okay with this. Why are you okay with this? Like,
Yes. Yes. Oh, and by the way, Breaking Bad, I understand why Skylar did everything she did.
Yep.
I don't
Condone it.
I don't condone it, but I understand why it happened.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes your highest priority fucks everything else up.
Yep.
And you don't. And I'll say this, fucking dude, Walter, made it impossible for her to act on her highest priority.
Yep.
So she was trapped.
Walter White is a villain.
Yeah, he's
the
bad
villain
guy.
of Breaking Bad.
He's the bad
Why
guy.
are you mad? Why are
She's
you
the
mad at
abuse
the one?
victim.
Yeah, why are you mad at the one person who's just had enough? Like, and has decided, fuck it, I'm killing everything. Like,
Yeah,
like,
Perry Ages is. Oh yeah. That's the funny thing is that my argument with like people talking about being ace or demi. I get it. I'm not arguing the definition, but I was of the opinion that kind of being demi was common. You know, like I was of the opinion that was quite common. You know, I know that I am an excessively horny guy. You know, I do not expect everyone to act like me. You know, I really don't. You know, I've done shit. You
not
know?
good shit.
Oh well, like there are
look,
regrets.
regrets.
when you're a horny guy and the happiness and pleasure of your partners matters to you, there are different rules of engagement. There are different
Yes.
rules of engagement. And
Yes,
one of
being
those,
a service top is a responsibility.
yeah. And sometimes that means you put the social beat down on the other man, even if he technically has more of a right than you do, because you realize this ain't about rights. This is about choice. You know,
Listen.
I
only
have
exist because you're fucking up.
I have had sex with someone's girlfriend while they were in the same house. And that house was my house.
At least he wasn't in the same room. I mean, or maybe.
Well, like, let
that'd
me
make
put it
things
this
better.
way. If he had wanted to be like in a threesome, I actually would have considered that the perfect solution. That would have been a win in my book. Because then it's like, oh, okay, there's something going on that you need, and you need to discover this. I'm willing to help with that.
Jack's like, I've watched Chasing Amy. That kind of worked out.
It only works out if everyone wants it to.
Right.
That's the thing. It's not that never is the solution. It's that the only way it works is if it's what everyone wants.
Right.
Then it'll work, but under no other circumstance.
Yeah.
And I would never. But what Holden did and the way he went about it ensured that was not going to be the case.
Right.
Because it's that whole sort of thing where, like, No, she's not going to want to fuck Banky. That like, uh, you're better off going. Hey, if you find another girl that you're having sex with who thinks that I'm okay, let me know. Like that might have worked.
Right.
That might have been okay. You know, or if dude had said like, look, I got feelings for Banky. I'm going to start dating him. We need to talk about what that means, if that means anything for us. You know, what that's going to mean. Because the problem that he has is he's making it all about her has to make the decisions. Like, no, bro. You got to start with you. You have to make the decision.
Right.
You know,
I
for
like what
me,
Perry said here.
yeah.
The He said, I think it's probably, I think it probably is really common talking about demisexualness. I think a lot of people just used to see Ace as low sex drive, which isn't necessarily the case. So, yeah, like people think that Ace means that like you're sex adverse. That's not the case. You just don't need it like all the time. Like when it comes to like partners or anything like that, you don't give a shit. You can not have sex. You can have sex 3 times. It doesn't mean anything to you. Uh, but but if you want to make your partner happy, you know they like sex. Well, I get that's the pleasure they get out of it.
Yeah,
And also
yeah.
like,
And I, I,
but
I
also ace people like are horny as shit. It's just that they don't want to have sex with somebody. Does that make sense?
meow.
Meow.
Yeah. It makes sense if we're limiting it to like whether or not you're going to use a partner.
Right. Like I
You
think that's
know,
correct me if I'm wrong if for the ace people that are out there, but like I feel like it's mostly just like I don't really feel the desire to do the activity, but like I like the activity. like,
yeah, like
like again, if
masturbation
you
is about as far as you need to go.
yeah, like
You know?
I I like the idea of having sex, but not the having sex part.
Yeah. And I think that might actually, yeah, that gives me a better handle on it. Is if it's like, oh, Ace is not wanting a partner,
No, Ace is just
or at least that's one of the things it can be about.
yeah. Ace Ace is literally, and again, correct me if I'm wrong out there. Ace is basically is just like sex is not on like as far as I'm concerned with the relationship, sex is
Not a priority.
negotiable. Yeah, it's not a
Not a
priority.
priority.
I'm more interested like I'd like an ace person would be more interested in like doing other romantic things because like sex isn't the only romantic act. I think we both agree to that.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So like they enjoy the other romantic acts more than they do enjoy the sex.
Yeah.
Like
I know that I could not date an ace person because I'm not going to feel good about having sex with a person who's not enjoying it as much as I do.
fair. Um, and that's fine. I don't think anyone's gonna like really beat you over the head for that
No,
because like
better
because
not.
it's not coming from like it's not coming from you like oh, I can't come if someone else doesn't want to come. It's more like I like you're like I don't want to like if somebody's not into it, I don't want to be there. I don't want to do it. But like some people, some ace people are like, yeah, no, I'm cool with that. Like I'll enjoy the time of sex, like, but it's not important to me.
Yeah. Well,
It's kind of like getting chili fries, right? You can have chili fries every fucking time you go to the fucking like to the burger stand. Some people will just don't they want the fries, and then like if chili fries happens, cool.
yeah. I need you. If we get chili fries, I need you to love it.
Right,
You
exactly. Like you need
know.
like, you're like, we're getting a big thing of chili fries. We're both going to enjoy it, and you're like fucking chowing down, and they've eaten like a tiny corner.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this ain't working for you, is it? Oh. mm, okay, now I'm a little stuck because I'm really enjoying these chili fries. You know, but it feels like I'm imposing something and I don't like that feeling in a intimate relationship. But
Yes, I like sexual things more than sex itself. Like I like the opening BDSM scene more than the fucking.
oh, so it yes. Did you hear that?
No. I'm assuming
Okay.
he was loud though.
He's being loud. He's like, I love you. I want a door open. The wrong door is open. Okay, I gotta refill my coffee anyway, so I'm gonna let this
That's fair.
cat out, get myself coffee.
I'll hold down the fort for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, guys! I want chili fries now. I also want chili fries. Some of my favorite erotica writers are ace as fuck. Yeah, like what the chicks. What if the chick wants to turn the scene into NTR? Am I about to look up something that's going to put me on a list? Oh, you're talking about fucking cuckold? I mean, yeah, sure. Everybody break dance. They're fucking not. Hey, folks. Like, if she wants to turn the scene into like cuckold shit, like, look, here's the dirty secret. If you're a cuckold, you're still doing sex. How you doing, Dragon? Hey George, how are things? Good, good. We just helped this week we've helped our friends move in to the basement apartment we have. Um and we've just been kind of like showing them where we're living and kind of like helping them get settled and what. It's like extreme cuckold. Like what? Like you're like in the like a state away or like what the fuck is extreme cuckold? Yeah, no, it's been kind of nice. And the cool thing is like they're a married couple and like very stable in their relationship. So it's like two like when you're a couple, like you desperately search for like other couple friends that you can kind of just hang out with that aren't a fucking mess. It's kind of nice. Wait, so there are people under the stairs? There's people underneath me right now, Johnny. So you been shut? Been pretty good. Like I said, I moved out of Tennessee. I'm in Michigan now. So uh got a bought a house. This is it. I had the lights off because we're still trying to find places to put excess stuff and where it's gonna go in the first place. But chili fries are good. Fuck yeah, chili fries are good, especially if you get like I like bean chili, but like when it comes to chili, like on something, it's only going to be meat chili. But like, especially if you get like that meat chili with like the perfectly like melted uh cheese and like some diced onions on top. They're on the walls. They're on the goddamn walls. Yeah, I've hung up a bunch of my stuff. So like, eventually, when I get back to streaming, which is still on the itinerary. I haven't made the step yet. And you're near mutual friends. I'm happy for you move. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Pizza fries? Depends. Still stuck in my red state. Was hoping to get out by now, but hopefully next year. Yeah, Perry, please. For the love of God. I mean, I know where you live, and let me just say, like, we're cousin brothers at the moment, and Jesus Christ. Run, please run. Looking at Maine. Fuck yeah, get as far away as you can. Stream cuckoldry and Metore can sometimes mean emphasis on emotional anguish for the cuck, like making the emasculation as depressing as possible. Fuck yeah, that sounds awesome. I would never want to be subjected to that, but I would love to do that to someone. I'm in season, so is it still red? Who fucking knows? Every day it changes. Like
North Carolina, I'm willing to bet it's still pretty red. Yeah.
Apparently, it's looking likely to flip because like Asheville and shit like that.
Well, it might fucking flip for this election, but I think in general it's going to stay pretty red.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Midwest. Yeah, no, it's been fucking cool. Like the Midwest nice is a thing, and I know people like want to talk about Southern hospitality, but it ain't got shit on Midwest nice. Like
I'm going to
I've had
agree with you. I'm going to agree with you, actually.
because I Southern hospitality, like when I was living in the South, no one fucking said hi to me on the street. Now where I'm living right now, I'm getting told about fucking games, like we're planning cookouts, like shit like that.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, like it's like nobody judges you because of how you dress. It's like it's really fucking cool. Now, like it's still redneck as fuck, which whatever, I can deal with that. But
Yeah. A little redneck is okay as long as we stay
yeah,
away from like that racism and
yeah,
clan
that's my
membership and
cutoff.
shit.
Yeah, like if you're dragging your push mower behind your Kawasaki bike in the middle of the day, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. But if you're like fucking going through and like talking about how you hate other races, I'm gonna have an issue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, so Cat Herman, I take it you live in the Atlanta area?
In the prominently blue area.
Yeah.
Maybe Atlanta
Prominently
or
blue area, that'd
Athens.
probably be Atlanta by my
Yeah.
guess. And oh, congratulations on the dildo joke here. Apparently, a company reached out to make a dildo based on his VTuber character. Sweet.
Is it an ovipositor or is it like or is it just like a normal monster dick? Like does it have like tentacles? Does it suck and blow at the same time? I know a little bit too much about this. I have weird interests.
Oh, man. I'm gonna. Oh, dude, I should probably. I merchandising idea for Babylon. Different
Get
type of
monster
cock for each
dicks.
different type of monster. You know, Atlanta's 3 hours away. Oh, okay. So you were
Oh,
like,
okay.
okay, so like Stone Mountain or something. I actually don't understand.
No,
I don't
Stone Mountain's
understand
pretty
Georgia
close.
politics outside of Atlanta. So
I've seen it. It looks good. You've what? Okay. You know what? Yeah. I'm glad you friends can do that together. You know what?
man,
You kids have fun, okay?
yeah. But let's get back on. Let's get back on the RPG train. You know.
No, hold on. We're gonna be talking about this cock for a second.
Oh, okay.
Look, it's a cock, but funny enough, I had to reach my artist and tell them I need ref sheet. Cool, I can do that of my model's cock. Oh. Wait. You had to like reach out to your artist to be like, I need to know what my character's cock looks like. I feel like
Oh
you're
man,
like,
I would have a lot of input
right?
personally.
Like how much
Like I
yeah,
don't know
like
if that'd be good for business or not, but I would have a lot of input.
my my monster cock, if I was a VTuber, would have more detail than the clothes that my model wears.
I know, right? I know, right? Like I would want mine to go from like a beautiful dark purple to like a hot pink and have like little soft um I don't know what you would call it, but little soft like nubs going down either probably along the ridge and maybe like one soft like dorsal fin down where the vein on the top is, and stuff like that.
And the vein is like also a vibrator.
Yeah,
It's
you know.
like I would have like two, that way I can go into any hole that you provide.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing actually. I was thinking the same thing.
Do you want me to send you ref sheets? No, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good. We'll just see the final product.
Yeah, just I don't how do you like I'm not gonna ask for a picture of your dick, but like, but I kind of am.
Oh, you will regret saying that.
I know, I know. But a VTuber model, I'd want the cock to have LEDs. Yeah, and here's the thing:
Light up. Ooh.
Blue,
Ooh.
Bluetooth speakers in them. You know,
Okay, that would be pretty awesome. Then it does two things, right?
well, well, Jack, you are one of Slanesh's chosen, right?
Yeah. Fucking, you could be a noise marine while a cock that with a thumping bass. Come on.
I wish I had a collection of this. I'm just saying, like, if anyone wants to give us money, we have thought a lot about like what we would want to do with our dicks. So
Hell
as a
yeah.
model,
Hell yeah. Well, like, there's one thing I'd love to be able to do with my cock, or perhaps the second cock that I know you can't really do in a dildo, which is
which
prehensile.
is it's true.
Prehensile.
Well,
That'd be difficult.
it depends. I think you might be able to, because like you can like. I'm assuming there'd be like some type of servo or some shit where it can like grab things if you flip it one way.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. It runs into the uncanny valley problem. Best to totally lay off than do it and not have it work exactly right.
Oh, I see. I see. We're not deep into monster fucker territory then. Because
Oh
I'm telling
no,
you,
we are.
because
I'm
I'm telling
just
you, a
like,
prehensile like guidable dick would sell like hotcakes.
all right. I'm just telling you this. If it's supposed to represent my monster cock, if we can't do it right, I'd rather we didn't do the feature at all.
No, you make it like a love sense thing, right? Like it's like an app you download on your fucking phone, and then like when whoever's using it, because like I'm assuming like we're adults here, you know, we're all fine with like having our partner use a sex toy,
Oh yeah,
especially
totally.
if it, especially if there's a fun little game attached to it. Like, and you just like wiggle that thing like while they're riding it with your phone.
Yeah.
See, that's give me money. Give me money. I will make the dick of your dreams.
Oh
They'd-
man, what is wrong with us? What is fucking wrong with us?
you know, we watched really shitty movies far too much, and like we got and we didn't have that parental supervision that makes good people. That's what's wrong with us. We were listening to Guar and our parents didn't care.
They didn't stop us.
or they did try to stop us way too hard, which made us want to go right back into it.
Oh my god.
Speaking of monster dick, Pathfinder.
Oh, we'll go be back on that again. Okay, yeah, we can do
I
that.
mean, yeah, we can come back, you know.
Yeah, all right then. Sweet.
Can I
Yeah,
tell you about one of my favorite feats in Pathfinder? I'm gonna look it up because I can't
please.
remember the actual name of it. Uh, hold on one second. Pathfinder. All right. So there is this there is this feat you get as a barbarian
Mhm.
where when you rage, we can come back. Shut the fuck up, Joe. there's there's a feat like for a barbarian feat for when you are raging, you can run on still water. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, no, like the feats, like I agree with you. Pathfinder one feats were very boring because it was just plus ones and plus twos and shit like that.
Yeah.
Pathfinder second edition feats are actually kind of fucking cool. like, like, especially when you get to like the later levels and you're doing like godlike shit. Like, There's one barbarian feat where if you critically like succeed on an intimidation check, you can just kill someone out of fright.
So
Right?
that's badass.
Right? Like like you critically succeed and then they have to make like a fucking like will save or die. I love this game. I love it because it's my favorite type of game where everything's broken, so nothing's broken.
I
and like
no, I know. Yeah, I hear
and
you.
and
I hear you.
and like and you know how like in fifth edition like combat like encounter building is a pain in the fucking ass.
Oh God, yeah, it's so boring.
Yeah, because it's not even just that it's boring. Just like a you have a group of like you have a party of like three like level 5 characters.
Mm-hmm.
You start putting monsters into the combat encounter calculator, and it's like this is extremely hard. And then they fight it, and it takes 2 fucking rounds for them to kill everything there.
Yes. Yeah.
That's because the fifth edition encounter builder is inherently flawed. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it doesn't calculate magic items into it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Even a +1
Oh.
sword fucks up the balance of like a level 5 creature versus a level 5 player. Like,
Right.
so like now you as we both are the forever GMs,
Yep.
now when we fucking calculate, not only do we like calculate combats, like not only does the system incorporate calculating combats for magic items, it almost makes it imperative that we give out magic items or else they'll start like lagging behind.
Yes.
And so now you get to do the fucking fun Monty Hall DM shit where you're like giving out magic swords and shit like that to people. And you're also like, so your players are having more fun. And now your combats are more complex and much more enjoyable versus like D&D's boring ass combat that takes forever. A problem they've had for like 30 fucking years at this point.
Yeah, like sometimes they're better than others, but yeah, for the most part, it's an issue.
Jack, you're a level 3 fighter in D&D.
Okay.
You're surrounded by enemies.
Mm-hmm.
How many like what are you gonna do with your turn? You're gonna hit something one time and then pass the turn because you're not
Yeah.
gonna be able to move because you're gonna get fucking hit with like an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
You don't want to disengage from them because like you're the tank, you're the fighter, you're supposed to be taking on the brunt of like enemies around you, but you're level 3, so you only get one simple ass attack. Meanwhile, in Pathfinder, from the fucking beginning, you get 3 actions per turn. You can move, attack, and then like another action that just costs 1 point. But let's say in the same scenario, you're a level 3 fighter and you're surrounded by goblins. You can use all 3 points of your action to fucking attack something to with it like with like descending bonuses in the attack. So like if you attack 3 times, you'll get your first attack bonus, your second attack bonus, and your third attack bonus.
Okay.
You are a 3rd level fighter, you're a 3rd level marshal, and you're doing as much damage as much damage, if not more damage than the spellcasters are in a fantasy game. Yeah. See, this is the reason why I say like Pathfinder fixes a lot of problems that I didn't know I had until I actually started looking at it. I love D&D. Marshals suck, and they have never made them better. Like a barbarian can do a lot of fucking damage, but not nearly the same amount of damage that a warlock can do. And it's like not even comparable by the end. Like it's
True.
like I would say fifth edition is made for you to like multi-class because it's the only way you're going to be able to keep up. Pathfinder is like everyone plays great. You'll have new shit to do every turn.
Well, that's cool. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I did one of the weirdnesses though.
Joe, you just have to get the core, the second the player's core.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like,
They put out a both a hardcover and a soft cover, a slightly smaller soft cover. I recommend getting the slightly smaller soft cover as long as your eyes can stand it.
yeah.
You know, I mean, because it is smaller type. It's basically the main book shrunk down by about a third.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same book otherwise. It's only $30,
Yeah.
which is
Which
way better. Like I'm finding myself going like, oh,
can you hold up
maybe
can you hold up that book to show the thickness of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a $30 book.
Yeah, it's $30.
Now look at your nearest 5e module. That is a $60 book. Compare the thickness.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like this is a really good idea, and I'm intending to follow suit, not necessarily with the size, but maybe, because I'm like, no, people have less money to spend, so I want them to be able to buy it. So that
yeah.
means I have to find ways of doing that, and I want to sell it for like 30, 40 bucks. I
Yeah.
don't want it to be 50, 60 because like I couldn't buy it at that price.
You want to bring back that 90s paperback RPG era where it was like, yeah, you bought this book for 30 bucks, and then there's like 20 splat books you could pick up for like 10 bucks each.
Yeah, exactly. Because like not I want to bring back stuff that like the player can buy and use, man. I
Mhm.
like campaign play. You
I do
know,
too.
I love campaigns, and I one of the problems I have with a lot of the indie role playing games that come out is they're not designed for campaign. In fact, they're very anti campaign. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, don't do that. Like some of them don't even have advancement rules. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like part of a role playing game is improving your character. You want that to happen. You know?
Though sometimes like I would say like with games like Call of Cthulhu, Blades in the Dark, shit like that, like that's definitely a game you're not gonna play like for months. That's a game you play like for maybe
Oh yeah, for
4 or
maybe
5 sessions.
yeah, exactly. And that's but they still have advancement rules.
Yeah, they
You
do.
know, they still have advancement rules. It's just designed around yeah, you're only going to be able to do this so many times. which is okay. And in Blades of the Dark there's at least that upper limit. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, if fate is permitting and you do everything right and fate smiles on you, you can get to this point. You know, with that said, however, good fucking luck.
It's like advancement in World of Darkness, specifically like Vampire the Masquerade.
I
It's
wanted
like
to do I want to do a version of Shadowrun that actually incorporates the heist that a version of the heist rules from fucking Blades in the Dark.
yeah, dude. Like, oh god, I love that fucking game, and I wish more people liked it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
Because I
cool.
found myself going like, there is no reason a game can't have a heist system. A game using another system cannot also have a heist system that works on this basic premise.
Yeah,
You know, because Blades of the Dark does this amazing thing which is at any point in the caper, you can call for a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
And when you call for a flashback, you can either, depending on your character class, you can either set something up that is only becoming relevant now, or have an item on you that you did not previously have. Like, when you do a loadout for a heist, you do not plan what equipment you take. You go in and you have so many points to spend, and you spend them by having a flashback. Like,
Yep.
and if you want equipment, you flash back to the planning scene, and you're like, all right, we know that they got a laser grid on there, so we're going to need this scrambler. Boom, now you've got it. But once you use all those loadout points, that's all the equipment you have.
Yep.
If you need something else, you don't have it because the plan's gone awry. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. And there's one where it's like, oh, don't worry. The face has an ability that allows him to retroactively pay off a guard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, yeah. Don't worry. He's going to let us in. I gave him like 500. Cool. Make the roll. And the game master's like, all right. That roll just told me whether or not he succeeded completely, or he succeeded, but the guy's going to fuck him over, or what? You know, it's such a cool idea.
Fucking cool. It's like, because it's like, that's half the fucking problem of like with doing heist shit in role playing games is, you know, you're going to spend 2 sessions of just sitting around a table playing.
Mm-hmm.
For shit you're gonna forget by the time you do the heist.
Yeah, because you got other things to do. So fuck it. Just make it now and just limit what you can do. Like, it was such a brilliant idea. And I'm like, no. More games, particularly games with heists in them, like Shadowrun, should have this.
I'm stealing it from for all my games now. It's such a good system.
Let me put it this way: it's not going to be part of the core game, but if Babylon has a heist supplement, it's going in. We're making one.
Yeah,
because it turns out I wanted to put it in from the get go, but it kind of turns out that the game doesn't by default need it.
Yeah,
what it needed by default was chase rules.
Yes. Oh God, yes.
Yeah, and we're also working,
which makes sense for like a horror RPG, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the Night Stalker is becoming more and more like the slasher. You know, which I thought was kind of cool.
I'm happy to see my son grow up.
Yeah. We
because like that was originally kind of the idea.
A power call. I forget what it was called. I think it was called. I forget what we called it because it's a very recent edition where it's basically, oh no, you can move and attack in a main action, and it's like you teleported.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're right there. Boom. You know, and once per round they get a bonus for attacking while unseen. And they can choose whatever attack that they use, but they can only do it once a round. But it can be any attack that they make. You know, we're getting into some really good role mechanics at this point, and I'm really, really happy about it.
I mean, you've been working on it long enough. Eventually, like you've been working on it long enough to know what not to do.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're the Countess has been getting on me to finish all the spells and rituals. So every day we go through like 3 or 4 of them. Because the thing I like about the magic system that everyone seems to like is that the spells are basically power sets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have flame bolt, fireball. It's like, no, you just have pyromancy. If you want to just throw off a bolt, that's cheap. In fact, it might cost nothing. You might be able to do it. Anything that is just like a pistol that does different types of damage is free. Because we don't keep track of ammo. Why keep track of like magic missiles. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
And also like you're a spellcaster. You want to cast spells.
Yeah, exactly. So you're always, if you take a spell that has a thing you can attack with, there's going to be an option for you to always be able to do it.
Right.
Then you have your main effects. Like those are the cantrips, the cheap ones. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
cantrips. And then a spell has a cantrip, has at least one cantrip, and then it has one or two main effects. This is the big one. This is the big one. Like
Mm-hmm.
taking pyromancy. If pyromancy, if flame bolt is the cantrip, the main effects are flamethrower and fireball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then after that you have spell boosts. You want to spend extra points to do something extra, like increase the distance,
Add more damage
add
die.
more damage die, add more damage to the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. This is what you do.
Wait,
And
are you doing damage die?
no, we don't do damage dice. We have base
Fuck
damage.
yes.
It's
Yes.
base damage. Basically, whenever you hit, you automatically do the base damage, but all your net successes also add a point of damage to it.
Fuck yeah. No, I like that. That's one of the that's another mechanic that a few other games do that I really do appreciate. There's nothing sucks more than fucking hitting something and then doing one damage to it.
Yeah, and you feel like okay, like if you just make the target number, you feel okay just doing one or 2 points of damage. But like,
Mm-hmm.
if you get like this huge, if you've exceeded it, you want to feel like that matters, right?
Yeah, it's like when you like everyone. If you've ever played any form of like RPG, you've had this experience where you've hit something when you've critically hit something and then did 6 damage to it because the dice were fucked. Like,
Yeah, I really like the house rule that if you critically succeed on something, double the damage means the first hit does max.
yeah,
First hit does max, everything after that is rolled. And I'm like,
that's the way I do it at home.
yeah. That's the way it should be done. That's the way a critical hit should be done. And going back to Pathfinder, Pathfinder actually has critical hit rules.
Yep.
Things happen on a 20 and a 1.
Yep. Like in not even just like
Plus the book smells nice.
it does smell nice.
Yeah.
Not like when he says that, understand like he's not just talking about like attacks. No, he's talking about spells,
Everything.
skills,
Yeah.
skill checks have critical successes into it.
Mhm.
Like fucking like doing actions, you could critically succeed in doing an action. Like you can critically succeed in aiding someone, like just doing like basic medical care on someone, and you get to like roll double dice of how many hit points they get back.
Yeah.
It's it like it feels like a lot of stuff, but what you gotta understand is
there
like,
there are consequences for critically failing a save.
yeah, for real. And it's not like just D&D where it's like, oh, you critically failed it, that means you get double damage or some shit like that. No, like specific shit happens to you.
Yeah. Like for example, like I think Fireball. Nature's Pathway. Because it's all nice and alphabetized, which fucking
Not only
thank
nice
you.
and alphabetized, but like they have like the picture on the fucking top right of the page
Yeah.
that lets you know what section you're in.
Yes. Yeah, really well laid out book. Which is really important because the game is a little it is
It's
D&D
rules.
levels of complicated,
Yeah. It's D&D 3.5 complicated.
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, nope. No. That one doesn't have a heighten. The damage increases by blah blah blah. Basic reflex. Okay. By the way, what's the difference between a basic save and a not basic save?
I
haven't
think
figured
it's
that
just a
out yet.
holdover. Yeah, I think it's just a holdover. Let me make sure. Because I think it's just like just saying basic save. Uh, so okay. Reflex save. Uh, and like the thing is like shit like this comes up and you just kind of go like, I don't give a shit. You can ignore it, and the system still runs. It's like a fucking
Yeah.
Honda. You
Yeah.
take out one fucking part, and it's still running perfectly fine.
Yeah, but
Like,
yeah, a lot of the spells have critical success and critical failure effects. Like
yeah,
depending on whether they are um save spells or well, I forget what you
effects.
call it. Well, when the caster rolls.
Spell attack.
Yeah, spell attack, whether it's a spell attack or a save effect, you know.
And it's like I said, it's got so many rules in it. Like if you as a GM just kind of want to go like, that seems kind of stupid to
Yeah,
me
like
today.
the
So
one change that I would probably make is that one of the things about the Pathfinder casters is they have to prepare, all of them have to prepare their spells, each individual spell slot ahead of time.
yep.
I would probably get rid of that because it's too
Well,
much of a bitch to keep track of.
I agree. Especially if you're playing pen and paper,
Yeah.
which is it's kind of designed for. Uh, but that being said, Pathfinder spells are not like D&D spells. Pathfinder spells have very specific descriptions about what they do and how much area they take over and stuff like that. So, like, Pathfinder spells are fucking powerful, but
Yeah,
you only
yeah,
get one of
yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Like,
that's clear. Like
yeah,
that's clear. But the other thing that I liked is that the heightened version of each spell has its own spell slot requirement, and there's only
yep,
like one or two. You can
mm-hmm,
only heighten a spell so far. It's like,
mm-hmm.
oh, if you heighten it, that a level 3 spell, that means it takes a level 5 slot. Can I heighten it over that? No,
No,
no.
why
But
would you?
no, what's wrong with you? You know. Um, but what I would probably do is do what the 5th edition Druid, for most spellcasters, I would give them the 5th edition Druid thing, which is you choose your spells. You could choose which spells you're able to cast that day, but they are not limited to a specific slot.
Right.
You just choose them. You say, all right, these are the spells I have for the day. I change them when I change them. And these are the slots that I've got to cast them with.
Yeah.
You know, so I can cast like 3 fireballs as opposed to, oh, I only memorized that twice. But it would be really useful here.
Right.
You know, just to give the player a bit of a little bit more control over that stuff. Also, I can be really honest. I have never people who like playing casters play casters despite that limitation, but they always hate it because they're like, I only Wall of Thorns. I only memorized that once. Can I cast it again? You know, like that always happens, and it's such an artificial limitation.
It is, but like it also like for me, and again, this is the shit I cut my teeth on. So
Mm-hmm.
take this with a grain of salt. But for me, it's like, oh, so you can't just pick the same spells everyone else fucking picks. You actually have to like think about what you're picking because you like this spell slot is very important. So this spell has to do something very important. So you're not just picking fireball and being done with it. Like, like
Yeah, but the
maybe
thing is I need the players to feel like they can get on with the adventure.
oh, exactly. Exactly.
You
And to be
know,
honest with you, like
I probably wouldn't give them too many spell options. Like it'd probably be like, I don't know, like 3, maybe 3 plus 1 for every other level kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh, okay, these are just the ones you pick for the day, and you use whatever slot, and this is the maximum slot you can use. You know.
Yeah. George, John, I need you to come for a visit and sell my group in Pathfinder 2 because I tell them all this and I can only get one person to play. All right. You want to know how to fix this problem? And Jack knows what I'm about to say here.
Yeah, probably.
I'm assuming you're the forever DM, right? If that's the case, you just go, hey guys, I want to run this game. And since somebody else wants to run anything, this is what we're going to play.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. I'll talk you through it. But
sorry, there's one other aspect of Pathfinder that I absolutely loved.
No, go ahead.
Character creation.
It's so fun. It's everything. It's like a Christmas morning. Like you just get new fucking gifts.
Yeah,
kind of
you
unwrap.
don't roll for stats.
Yeah.
You just get them. You're basically all right. You know how like a D&D you have a 12 and that means you got a +1. All right, Pathfinder just has the +1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it gets rid of that extra number. So if you're like, I'm gonna play an elf, and they're like, all right, elves get +1, get +1 to their intelligence and their dexterity, and +1 to whatever you want to put it in.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, your character class also does that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your stats now.
Also, your
and whenever your stat boosts,
background,
and your background can also give you shit.
Yeah.
But when you get an attribute boost, you just get an attribute boost. It's just now one better.
Yeah.
Not, well, I guess this is one better, but it's an odd number, so I'll put it in this. It's like, no, you just +1 better than what you had.
Until you get to 18, and then it costs like
then it gets more expensive.
From 18, 19 to 20. Yeah.
Yeah, then it gets more expensive. But by that point, you're like, well, okay.
Yeah.
You know, basically, once I get up to +4, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah. A 24 strength is as someone who's played at that level is very unwieldy.
Yeah, so it gives you a bit more sense of power in the beginning, and it ironically curbs you near the end.
Yeah,
you know, which is really ingenious.
Well, they figured out how to fix the D&D problem, which is 5 to 15, great fucking time. 1 to 5 sucks. 15 to 20, it's just so complicated, it's not fun.
Yeah. Although I will say this, I get what they were doing with armor proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way it works. I do feel like it's a little extra math.
Oh yeah, but it's Pathfinder.
Yeah. Yeah, the way armor works is you have the boost to armor class just for wearing it. Mm-hmm. But if you're proficient in it, you get to add your proficiency bonus to it.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's better. You know?
Which
so
makes
anyone
sense,
can wear armor, but a person who knows how to use it does way better.
Yeah. It makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense.
Like if
the shield rules are also really cool.
Yeah, it's oh god, it's like
you just like, oh shit, I'm just gonna use my shield. Bing. Okay, great. You get a +1, and you used like one of your 3 actions for the round.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like everything's like there's no waiting in Pathfinder.
Yeah,
like there's
really
no
nice.
waiting. Yeah, it requires you to be cognizant of what's going on in combat and what
because if I read it right, you're allowed to raise your shield even before your turn.
Yeah, it's a reaction.
Yeah,
it takes a point of either it takes a point away from like your next turn, or if you leave yourself an extra, like if you only take 2 actions and leave that action point left, you can block it with a shield. And that's really cool fucking design because it's like in D&D, like a shield just gives you an AC bonus.
Yeah.
Whoopee. But like you can't actively like block things with it, or like you have shield bash, but that's really about it.
Yeah, it feels really cool to go like I raise my shield and like, all
Yeah.
right, I got a +1 to my armor class. So how do you do? You know?
Yeah, no, like, and then you're like, and then like you're surrounded by enemies, and you're a fucking marshal, and like you're a barbarian with a great axe. You can literally like in rules do a spinning attack that like cleaves everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And,
also like the fact I also vastly prefer the witch to the warlock.
Mhm.
The D&D warlock, I am like, you hobbled this character class so badly that you feel like a punk for having chosen it.
and it's like the benefits you get from it. Like I like warlock as a class. I think it's fun to play, but it
Oh, I think the
is,
concept's great.
yeah.
But the witch in Pathfinder
Ooh.
is fulfilling that promise.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like,
just way better. It's even better than the original, than the first edition Pathfinder Witch, which
yeah,
had its problems.
it did. It was an
Yeah.
expanded class that
Yeah,
they
but
didn't
the
really
the
think
witch
about.
feels like a real this witch feels like a real caster.
And like as you progress through your class, you basically get like start turning into a hag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you get like weird like physical deformities or like weird magical effects that have a negative around you, but are also they also give you a really big benefit. Like you can have an evil eye. It's and like and that's just the witch. My favorite like spellcasting
It's going to be the
class
Oracle,
is
isn't it?
it's the fucking
The
oracle.
Oracle's awesome. Unfortunately, that's
Oh,
not in the main book. That's in the
I
second player's guide, which they already
because
have
they
a revised version of, by the way.
yeah. Uh the oracle gets like you're cursed with some type of like either like unluckiness, like some
Or
type
you're
of thing.
blind,
Yeah,
or you're missing a leg, or
but now you can like now you actually see forward in time, and like you're like the deformity, the disability, whatever it is, it leads to a stronger caster. The class fulfills the storytelling part of the game just by
oh
adding
yeah,
that.
oh, so many of the classes do that.
Yeah.
So many of the classes do that. Like the easiest and my favorite, the easiest and my favorite one is the paladin, because it's
the
like,
uh
all right,
the
at this,
champion.
is that what they call
I
it
think
in?
I think they're called champions
Yeah,
in
yeah. It
Pathfinder.
used to be called the paladin. Let me make sure it's still called that. Do classes. Bard, cleric, druid, fighter, ranger, rogue, witch, wizard. Oh, it's not in the main book.
It should be. Oh, you don't have the PC2. Never mind.
No, yeah, it's in PC two. It's
Yep.
not in Player Core one.
But yeah,
Oh, Player Core one
the,
doesn't have a paladin. But like, okay, back when Pathfinder had the paladin, and you would get to like fifth level, and you would just get a boon that you chose. You're like,
mhm.
I have a special magical mount. It does these things. I'm given a Holy Avenger sword. It does these things. And it is literally couched like your god or a servant of that god comes up to you and says, "This is yours." So you're like, so playing a paladin felt really cool because you were like, "Oh, I I am a holy warrior." An angel literally came down and bestowed upon me, or the lady of the lake literally rose and bestowed something upon me. You know?
And it's like you fucking like as the champion, you are your god's chosen like,
Yeah.
vessel. You wreck like those that your god sees as evil. And like that's just like a certain type of champion.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, there are
like
others
there's a
as well.
yeah, like one of my
Don't they have a
favorite barbarian.
gladiator?
Yes. They have a gunslinger and it works. Like it works, Jack. Do you know we've suffered many a time from players wanting to play a gunslinger and they find some fucked up like homebrew class that makes the game unfun.
Yeah.
They fixed it, man, and like it works. Like that's the thing that has made me into back into a Pathfinder only now. It's like, oh my god, they actually tested this shit, and it's not like I don't have to fucking walk behind him to make sure the dog's not shitting on the carpet.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I just want to bring this up
Mhm.
so I'm a responsible streamer because
Mhm.
this is my job.
Mhm.
We are $9 short our monthly $300 goal. So if anyone wants to put us over the top, please feel free. The super chat
And
and the
it's only
donation
$9.
should be right there. Let me make sure the donation link is right there because there is a chance that I, like a fool, yes, I like a fool, did not put my PayPal thing there. Go on while I deal with that.
No. Go about your business. Uh, like it it yes, it is very rules heavy. Yes, it is a very rigid system, but like it's a justified rigid system versus like fifth edition where like the DM has all the fucking onus, has like all the responsibility of making sure the game runs correctly. And the fucking
Oh, thank you,
like
Floorgrim. Thank
yeah,
you for the
yeah.
$20 donation. We made it, everybody. We
I could
made it.
eat.
We made it. How hold on.
And now you too have fed account Jackula today.
Yes. You have. You have. All right, so because of that, we're going to have
Are we taking our shirts
a special.
Coming to home video from
Oh,
Nelson
wait.
Entertainment.
No, that's just
Defendant.
Well,
as most of you know, I run the local orphanage, and I met Sarah when she was left as a foundling on my doorstep almost 20 years ago. All this witch stuff is pure nonsense. Why, she spent the last year giving her free time to teaching my girls singing and dancing. As a matter of fact, I've brought 3 of her pupils here to show you what wonderful progress she has made.
Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Girls?
Now you might pray to God, y'all, but I like Lucifer best of all. Sunday school is a place for fools. It's hot in hell, but the devil's cool. Don't keep Satan waiting. Don't keep Satan waiting. So don't just sit there, join the club. Sell your soul to Beelzebub.
This is what we should be talking about.
Don't keep him waiting, don't keep him waiting. You know he's waiting, anticipating the celebrating.
This is what
Don't be afraid to come visit Hades. Best way to head. Best way to head.
Defendant.
Yeah, that sound clip is from a movie called Love at Stake. It is a terrible romantic comedy about a witch. It's oh, it's bad. It's bad, but I love it. You know? If you're like, this movie's not very good, granted, but it's no worse than Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Okay, I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, hey, hey. I love both those movies. That's not a fair comparison.
Okay, the Elvira movies are a bit better, but they're of the same mentality.
No, like, see, for me,
Yeah, it's
like,
fun
so
bad. It's fun bad.
yeah. Listen, to quote Mr. Lobo, there are no bad movies. They're just misunderstood.
Yes. I unfortunately believe that there are bad movies, but most of them are just misunderstood. I've just got limits.
Like, limits, and it's like, it's one of those things where, like, once you start like looking into some of those very bad movies, you start to like kind of fall in love with the people that make them.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not bad movies, it's a matter of taste.
Yeah, for real.
Sometimes it's just a matter of taste. But with that said, there are some movies where I'm like, no, this is a bad movie, and that should not be debatable.
Right, but it's never movies like this.
No. It's almost never movies like that.
It's movies that have a budget of like a couple $100 million. Like, it's movies that
Revenge
have
of the
like
Fallen is a bad movie that you should not watch.
Revenge of the Nerds 3.
As if Revenge of the Nerds 2 wasn't enough of a step down. There's Revenge of the Nerds 3, which will make you... I'm going to be honest, like, as bad as those Police Academy movies got, they never got as bad as Revenge of the Nerds 3.
They did, but like by the time that they did, you checked out.
Well, like, look, I seen all of them up and including the one where they went to Russia. Were there more
That's
after
the one
that?
I'm talking about. I think there's like, wait, the Miami one's the third one, right? But they go to Miami.
Well, there's the first one, there's Citizens on Patrol, there's the third one, which I forget what it was called, but it's the one where Bobcat Goldthwait's the bad guy, and
yeah,
Bobcat saves that movie like no one's business. There's Police Academy 4, which I think is City Under Siege or something like that. And then there's the Russia one. And that's the last one I saw.
I think they also did a Miami one that didn't have Bobcat in it, which, like, look, you don't have Bobcat, you don't have.
I don't even
Beatenberg.
think it had like Leslie, what's her face in it? Callahan.
Yeah. It didn't have the fuck. It didn't have Winslow Jones. Like, you didn't even have the fucking sound effects.
Oh,
guy
if you
in it.
can't
What
get
are we
Winslow
doing here?
Jones back, that's not a Police Academy movie.
Yeah. Mission to Moscow is the last one. Okay. I'm trying to think of one like
Mission to Moscow was bad, but it wasn't Revenge of the Nerds 3 bad. Is what
I know what I'm fucking up. I'm mixing Reno 911 with Police Academy.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. There is a much bigger varied quality in the Reno 911 ones.
I love Reno 911. Like,
well, the show is great.
Yeah,
the show is great. The films are like hit or miss.
Mostly miss. Because like that show doesn't work as a movie. It just doesn't. You can't do a show about bits and put it in a nice tight 90 minutes.
It's hard. I'm of the opinion that Super Troopers only kind of works.
I don't think it's their best movie, but it's definitely their most popular.
I mean, it's no Beer Fest.
No,
yeah,
and it's
Beer Fest is probably their best one. Like, unabashedly the best one.
And it sure as shit is not nearly as good as the horror film that they did, like their first film.
Which one was that?
Fuck. I think it's called like Dread Lizard or some shit like that. Broken Lizards Club Dread.
They did Club Dread. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's pretty funny. I like that one. But yeah, just I, it's funny because like one of my friends who like kind of lived like a very sheltered life, like you know, parents didn't let them like go see bad movies. Uh, I've been exposing them slowly to to the toxic waste that is my movie taste. And they're like, these movies are awesome and they're fun. And I was like, yeah, and that's the point. Like, you're supposed to smoke a joint and laugh at this dumb shit. Like,
Yeah.
nobody watches the critters with a sober mind.
No. No.
You don't put on demonic toys expecting like Kubrick.
Yeah, no. No.
But like I wonder, Jack, is there like anything that's like I know we both like our schlock.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that's like too schlocky that you just like assume? Has there ever been a movie like that's been too schlocky that you're just like, there's no redeeming qualities of this?
Schlocky, not just as opposed to just bad.
Right. So what I mean by that is like it has all the characteristics of shit you love about bad movies, but something about it is just you just can't like it.
Ooh.
I think mine's the Evil Bond series.
Just bad. Oh. I'm having
Shit, I've been doing this wrong.
I'm
I've been watching the
having
shits.
man, I am having trouble.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm just huh. Okay, by the way, the PayPal donation button is now in the thing. It's now in the
Evil
thing.
Evil Bond is a good time. I sure, but like 8?
Munchies 2.
Ooh, okay, yeah, no, actually,
Munchies 2, I am like, that's a bad movie.
mhm. No,
I haven't
it's
seen All Fun and Games. Oh, you guys just did? Fun and Games, it's both schlocky and bad. The Countess says All Fun and Games is schlocky and bad. She does not recommend.
it's on Hulu if you have that. Is that Young Sheldon? Does this fucking thing have Young Sheldon in it?
It probably does.
God damn it.
I hate anything having to do with the Big Bang Theory. My opinion on the Big Bang Theory is that it's bad. It's a bad show. I never laughed once. Everyone kept telling me I needed to watch this goddamn thing, and forever after, anyone who recommended that to me, I have never trusted their opinion afterwards.
What's the like? I don't like. I've watched the show, and I don't.
What?
They don't make jokes like on Big Bang Theory. There's no jokes.
It's not funny.
Never. Yeah.
I never laughed at it. I'm just sitting there going, like, I was at least expecting a no. Never. I'm watching it and I'm like just getting angry at how unfunny it is. Because I'm like, if a show is unfunny, I don't care because I just don't watch it. But if a show is unfunny and popular, now I'm angry. Because I'm like,
watch it.
why? What is it about this show? Because, like, at that point, I know I'm dealing with aliens. Like, what is it about this show that you find so fucking hilarious? Like, it's like people who laugh at Full House. I'm like, and to Full House's credit, there have been times when I had to watch it and I was like, okay. Never happened with Big Bang Theory. Never fucking happened. You know, because the joke is, they're nerds. And I'm like, yes. And
Are they though?
are they?
Are
The,
they?
yeah, first, whatever. They're TV nerds, whatever. But I'm sitting there going like, yeah, but you never made me laugh at it. That's like, it's like, I don't want to compare it to like blackface or the N word, but you're doing
It
that type of
is.
thing and it's not funny.
Yeah.
That's the cardinal sin, in my opinion. That is the look, you can't be racist and not funny.
And let's be real here. That show does a lot of brown face with Raj, the lone like character of color on
Oh,
that fucking
yeah.
show.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even make it that far to the point that I recognized it. You know, but like,
It gets worse.
I'm not surprised. Like, the difference between that and like Community was night and day.
I would
Community
agree.
amused me. I would say that it brought me to laughter on occasion.
At least a chortle.
Yeah, at least a chortle. Like, I was like, that's kind of funny. Big Bang Theory, nothing. I'm sitting there just getting angry and insulted. Not because I find myself represented in it, although I do, in a very
the
insulting
opposite.
way.
Yeah.
You know, but because fuck you. Who the fuck thought this was funny?
People that don't actually enjoy nerd culture.
Well, suck my balls, because
that show is written for people who
my balls are
are
dry, John.
I'm sorry. Dry. I can't lick balls to the internet. Trust me. We've investigated the technology. We're still working.
Yeah, because to me, when it came to like when it comes to weird offensive humor, to me, South Park is the golden is the bar. It's the gold standard. It doesn't always work, but it hits way more often than it misses.
South Park understands what makes like
it tries hard.
Yeah.
It tries hard. It doesn't always work, but it tries hard. So when it hits big. You know, I've clearly disagreed with like the conclusions of certain episodes. But
yeah.
Then there's Free Will's Yak.
Then there's
an episode where they were like, no, man, we're not going to be very political with this one. We're not trying to make a bigger point. It's just pure comedy of errors. And the fact that they would still do that, they would break their own fucking conceit and just go, no, we're just going to do one that's just hilarious. That's just pure dumb fun.
And the way they write episodes is, as someone who's worked in any, like not even animation, using real people, writing that show in a week is insane.
Oh my God, yeah.
Writing and like producing that show in a week is insanity. How the fuck do you even do that?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the one thing South Park did that like a lot of other shows didn't do, which is like they kept current because every episode was about the last week.
Yeah. And they kept themselves on that tight writing schedule, which, holy shit, that's usually the first thing to go.
Right.
You know, I have endless amounts of respect for their ability to keep that motherfucker going.
And it's a shitty cardboard cutout animation show about dick and fart jokes. but it's not.
It's stupid humor written for very smart people.
It's what Rick and Morty fans claim.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is I feel like Rick and Morty as a show delivers that. It's just that I think the audience thinks it's smarter than it is for laughing at it.
It's like the people that watch The Boys and like idolize Homelander. You know, the Rick and Morty fans who
Yeah.
idolize Rick, and it's like, oh, you don't get that this person's a miserable piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I can I can sometimes identify with Rick,
Right.
but I don't idolize him.
Yeah.
A character that I feel like I am like that I did kind of idolize was Grunkle Stan.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm hearing the sounds of horrible humiliation in here that I want in. Yeah.
Rick and Morty stopped being fun after season 2 for me as well. Like after that, it just felt
I actually like a lot of the later seasons of Rick and Morty a little bit more.
I don't know. I don't know. It just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah, it
So.
appealed to me. Like I liked it. I've continued to like it. But then again, I was never one of those guys that had to know what was going on. I wasn't a fanatic about the show. I just really liked it.
Right.
You know.
It that's the okay. That's the thing that like I feel like is a lost art of just being a fan of something. Like just being a
The
fan.
difference between being a fan and being a fan.
Yeah.
You know, like when I think of that, I'm like, am I a fan of Rick and Morty? Yeah, I'm a fan of Rick and Morty. Am I a fan of Transformers? No, I am a fan of Transformers. Are you a fan
And
of monster movies? No, I am a fan of monster movies. Holy shit,
listen,
I'm a horror fan, motherfucker.
like it's like I love horror. I'm a big fan of horror and schlocky movies. But if you come to me about pro wrestling, oh motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a different level. It's a different level.
Yeah.
You know, like if like I would dive into a sewer to preserve a fucking printed copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The
You
last
know,
one too.
yeah, I would run into traffic to save one of the last known copies of a fucking movie. You know, like if you said, if it was my life or the last known fucking print of London by After Midnight, no, I am that chick in fucking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You know, like I got a real fucking question I gotta answer. Your dick
I
or this
would
film? Ooh. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with my dick, but I need to think about it for a minute.
it's like I have watched so much shit about pro wrestling, watched so much pro wrestling. I've watched cartoons about pro wrestling. Like I love pro wrestling. But you notice that like when I say I love it, I actually mean I love it. There's a lot of people that claim to be fans of shit that are not fans of the things that they love.
Oh my god, I know.
And they all live on twitter.com.
Right?
Like
Fucking right?
I've seen too many people get sucked into arguments with them. And I don't why do we take them serious? Why are we taking these fucking weirdos who are like, well, listen, Homelander is the hero of the show, and I know this because like he represents great American values, and it's like, hey man, have you like ever considered like what the creator's saying about this guy who's constantly on the verge of a nervous breakdown, has a
Fucking
breast milk fetish, and has a
fucking
which is
Garth Ennis did
yeah
not think that Homelander was the main character. Homelander was the villain from the get-go in all versions of The Boys.
Yeah.
Garth Ennis created Homelander so we could poke fun at Nazis. You
And,
know,
and unsurprisingly, the Nazis got really upset, like got really like idol worshipped that fucking character.
yeah.
Do I remember you shoots said I used to have the DVDs of that shit.
You shoots?
It is a series of videos where like a bunch of like old wrestlers who or and sometimes current guys would be put in front of a camera and asked about like, hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Who had the biggest dick? What's in the bag?
Okay, all right. See, I think I'm getting the picture.
Yeah, no, it was like going to a con, but like the saddest con because it's just two guys hanging out at a Holiday Inn, fucking pulling out like fake bags of drugs and asking, "What's the first thing that comes to mind when I have this bag of coke?" And the
Oh.
answer was always the Iron Sheik. You know,
Actually, like, no, my answer was always going to be Mick Foley for anything. If
Mick
I'm in a
Foley
bad
surprisingly
situation or if I'm in a good situation, I Mick Foley.
Mick Foley surprisingly uh, didn't do any of the drugs and shit.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. Like, did he do steroids? Oh, probably.
Hell no. Look at him.
Well, he didn't do steroids like The Rock did.
He did steroids in order to fucking make sure his muscles did like
Yeah,
in order
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. You know, but
he wasn't shooting HGH to his forehead like Triple H was.
I'll give you that. Yes.
No, for real. Look up pictures of Triple H. That fucker went Cro-Magnon. He looks like a fucking Crute. I'm just saying.
Crude ready.
Mick Foley's drug of choice was pain. No, Mick Foley's drug of choice was saving money.
Yeah. I
Like,
found that to be so interesting. Like, of all the wrestlers, he managed his money very well.
well, that's because he was a cheap ass. No, I'm being serious. Okay, so Mick Foley was so notoriously cheap that when he got to the WWF, Owen Hart, also a notorious cheap ass, and him made a bet. All right. They said, okay, we have $25. We're going to see how long we can make it on just $25.
Oh dear.
Mick Foley won after 2 months.
Well, $25 a day or just $25?
No, just $25. He slept on fans' couches instead of getting a hotel room, had them making meals, had them drive him to the fucking like to the airport and shit. Like,
Oh my god.
yeah, notoriously fucking cheap. Yeah,
Oh
he'd
my
sleep in his
god.
car just to save money. Not that he didn't have the money to be in a hotel room. No, no, no. That money's for future Mick Foley because I'm not gonna be doing this for long.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that I can respect. I can respect like saying, yeah, I'm not doing this now because I want this money later.
Right.
Man, although speaking of fan versus fan,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of getting a Decepticon logo for my car.
That'll be what holds it together.
Maybe, man, maybe. Like, I, oh man, I'm so mad. So I have one of those PT Cruisers with the windshield visor.
Right.
And in the beginning, I was like, yeah, that makes it look a little cool. Like, I'll take it. It creates some problems. Not the least of which is when it starts cracking, it rattles. So I fixed it. I used
Mhm.
epoxy and I put it back together, and then it created a new rattle, which I am now trying to fix, which is pissing me off because I'm like, well, the old parts don't rattle. Now a new one does on the same
It's
thing. Motherfucker. And so now I
yeah.
got to figure out how to deal with that. And I probably will. I think I have an idea already. Um, but because of the nature of the cracks, I've also gotten into the idea of I forget what it's called, to be honest, which is the Japanese art of like putting gold lacquer in things as opposed to trying to cover up a crack. You just fill it with gold
Mhm.
lacquer, so you make an imperfection something beautiful. I
Mhm.
found myself thinking, you know what? I don't have the equipment or the patience to completely repaint my car the way that I want, but I do have the materials and the patience to do that to all the cracks that I seal up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of doing that, and I was realizing, man, if I have these like black lightning cracks in the car as part of the car, I could probably also do that to the hood because the hood has some like rust parts in it that I would need to sand out and like, but then I could put like Bondo on it, and then I
Right.
could repaint that. But then the question became, do I want a Decepticon logo or like some sort of horror related thing on it? And I wished, in my ideal world, it would be a thing that flipped over, so it could be either. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think I can do
Ooh,
that, but I would love
playing
it.
both sides there. A Star Scream.
Now I'm not going Decepticon Autobot. I'm going like demon face to Decepticon.
Ah, okay.
Like that's No, I'll pick a side. I'll totally pick a side in Transformers.
In the
Here's the
cyber
thing. I
war.
love the look of the Decepticons, but ironically I have way more Autobot figures.
That's kind of shocking to be real with you, but like I don't know. Maybe I think it's just because like the fucking Autobots were the cooler ones most of
Some
the
of them
time.
were, but when I'm like out and about, I want the car to look a little evil.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So that means Decepticon, you know. Or a demon head, you know.
Or hear me out on this. Paint a Decepticon, like get a Decepticon logo and then paint over it the icon of Baphomet. So you have like a Decepticon skull where Baphomet's like face
Head
would
would be,
usually
but it's
be.
got like the ooh. Hold on. Demon skull car decal. Car wrap? No, I don't need the wrap. Uh no, I don't need a Punisher style wrap. It's fucking awful. No, not one with an American flag on it. I'm not. That sends the wrong message.
A message that I myself do not support.
Yes, yes. Like that's the real of it. Um, but I could get, just a metallic skull seems a little basic, a little too basic.
Yeah, yeah. Thorgrim's gonna try to design a Satanicon. Oh, that's Satanicon. What? See, that's the shit we would.
That does sound pretty righteous. I mean,
What would a
aw.
Satanicon transform into? Like, is it like
Probably a
Decepticons
robot
and
demon, demon to robot demon.
but what does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. We'd have
like
to make it.
like what kind of vehicle does it turn into? Or does it turn into a vehicle at all?
I do not know. I do not
Shit, now we gotta make
know.
Satanicons. Are they like the Cenobites of the fucking of Cybertron? Like, did they feast on like the negative energon, like
Oh,
the black
I could
energon?
get horn decorations for my car. I don't know about that though. Oh, wait. Hold on. But if I put him out in front, like this car's got, oh, 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 we might be onto something. But I still need like a symbol, right? Still need a symbol. Oh, or I could put the horns on the fucking visor.
It's true.
Could epoxy them to the fucking visor.
Oh, that is close to a Terracon. Sorry.
Yeah,
Transformers.
You know, like, yeah, it'd be Robot Demon to just Robot, you know? Booyah.
Yeah, but then how do you transform that? You know, it's a toy first before it's a cartoon.
Well, we'd have to make it, you know, like you'd have give
like
a robotic demon, right? You know, like, yeah, we use the Terracons as a base for the inspiration, right? You know, or man,
I feel like Satanicon should be made out of like sharp metal and broken glass so that when you transform it, it hurts.
Metal cons. So metal. You know, actually, one of the other like Transformers groups, one of the combiner groups I always liked but got like no love were the Seacons. I really liked the Seacons.
The Seacons?
Yeah. They were like robotic underwater monsters that turned into a big guy called Piranacon, I believe. They were pretty cool. Had like a snapping turtle as the leader. He had like these huge cannons on his back. I believe his name was
I think it's called
Onslaught.
Blastoise.
What?
I said I think that thing was called Blastoise.
No, he looked like an evil Blastoise. He did. He went from evil robotic Blastoise to Decepticon and back. There was a piranha. There was a lobster. So that'll get a little weird these days, but whatever. A manta ray.
Look, they've made the lobster transformer to show the Sigma male. You have to buy the lobster transformer.
Yep. Tentakill was an octopus, and I think that's all of them. And I really Snaptrap. That's right. That was his name, Snaptrap. You know, I fucking loved those toys. Those were the last that was like one of the last G1 series ever made, and I actually really liked them. Mick Foley is a Transformer, dude.
He would just be a hoopty that's like missing.
Yeah. He'd transform into like either a busted SUV or a pickup truck.
He would be a Saturn. Like that's the.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think we could do like, you know, it's got to be big and boxy. It's Mick Foley, he's a big guy. You know,
a Pontiac Aztec.
No, I don't think he should be a sedan. Is the thing. He shouldn't be a sedan. He should be like a truck or an SUV.
He'd have to be no. You gotta understand. This is Mick Foley we're talking about. It has to be something sensible.
Ooh, or a Junkion.
He would be the king of Junkions.
Ooh, no, we can't be the king of Junkion. That's Wreck-Gar.
There would be a fight.
He could be an awesome Junkion, though. I feel like, no. You take an SUV, you rust it up, and then you put like Mad Max parts on it. And that's the Mick Foley Transformer.
But it's got like a weird like wood paneling of flannel.
Yes, exactly. He's got weird wood paneling on him.
That
you know? And when he transforms, the robot face is actually based on the Mankind mask.
But he's also got like the paneling that turns into the flannel vest on his body.
Yeah. Abso-fucking-lutely. We get some like
Jeep Cherokee. No, we're talking about a broken car that still fucking works. No Jeep Cherokee's ever been that.
Yeah, that thing's either broken or about to be broken.
To break.
Because that
I've
shit
never
ain't a
seen it.
real Jeep. That's what pisses me off. I'm like, no,
It don't
it
even.
needs to be a real Jeep. Like, Hound is supposed to be a real Jeep. You know?
But that's the thing. All Jeeps are like that nowadays, man. They're
Oh,
constantly
not a
breaking
real
or about to
one.
break. Oh, the
Not a
real ones
real
are
one.
now.
But the ones that are all called Jeeps are like that. There's a difference
You also,
between like a real Jeep and the fucking shit that they sell everybody.
it's true. It's the quality has went down immensely.
Well, the thing that was so cool about the Jeep is that it was an all-terrain vehicle and it was kind of small. It's kind of
Yeah,
small. And it's designed, its whole design is ingenious because it was made for warfare. You
right.
know, it was made to transport people during warfare, which is everything that could break or be damaged is real easy to get to. The headlights double as work lights.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like that alone, so awesome. It's like, oh, wait, we just flip this down here and then turn the lights backwards, and now we have work lights on the engine. That's dope as shit. That's
That,
dope as
that,
shit.
yeah, but like that's not Jeeps that they sell you
No,
anymore.
no, it's not. They sell you these cars that are designed to look like Jeeps, but they aren't.
Oh man, I hate to be that
Oh, you
person,
gotta
but
go. It's okay. We've been going for
yeah,
like 3 hours. That's pretty
yeah.
good.
I've been fucking I've been busy. Like I've been fucking getting shit ready for the girls that moved in. And we also have like guests coming this weekend, so been a very
Oh
busy boy
man.
running around.
So how are
So
they working out as roommates so far?
you know the worst part about roommates is that you have to share a house with them.
Yeah.
Well, when you have a fully furnished basement, a fully finished basement that people can live in, they have their own house that they basically live in. So you don't ever have that problem.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, for
So
real.
they have
It's
their like
like,
their own kitchen and everything.
yeah,
Oh,
a whole
sweet.
kitchen, own bathroom, two bedrooms that are basically make up the entire basement. It's a pretty
Nice.
sweet pad. It's a pretty sweet pad. My problem is you can't fit shit down there because it's a small fucking stairway on the basement, but it's
Gotcha.
whatever. But
Gotcha.
yeah. And then I've got another friend that's coming in Friday morning, like fucking ass crack of dawn. And they're gonna be here for the weekend. So I've just been running around making sure everything's taken care of. Now I'm tired.
Okay, man. So I'll let you go. We'll end it
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah.
here. So to everybody else, want another special thanks to Thorgrim for putting us over 300. Thank you. Thanks a lot, man.
Hell yeah.
Means a lot to me. Uh and everybody else, I loved seeing you here. And remember, Ave Satanas, Disco Inferno, and Satan and I love you all very much. John,
Make sure to wash your ass.
you heard it here, folks. And I will see you tomorrow on Twitch around 7 p.m. Of course, we'll be playing Diablo 4, but I still want to see you. You're still welcome to come in and talk to me while I'm doing that. Like, come on. Part of the reason I play the game while still being online is so that people can do that. So you're not bothering me. You know, come in, say hello, ask me questions that you might not ask on this stream. You know, it's okay. The only real difference is that I'm playing a video game. Yeah, there you go. That's the big difference. And so till tomorrow, I'll see you later. Good night.
Bye, everybody.